and welcome back to Off the Beaten Quest. There's a lot of D&D podcasts out there, but you chose this one, and you never choose wrong. Don't let anybody think otherwise. Don't you think yourself otherwise. Have confidence, because you're here, and now we're going to have some fun. Session title is Lost in Transportation. This is session 82. Now, we're joining our party after they had a harrowing fight in the woods against some assassins that are still hot on Ira's trail, or we don't know anymore. And they subsequently wound themselves up at the Aarencia Aeronautical Alliance and wound themselves back into, after going through, I guess, Aarencia's version of TSA, they managed to get through and into the airport before things started going awry. And a message came through into Ira's mind from a one Akira back in the port of Mar, letting her know that the port of Mar was under attack. They also learned that the airships were not returning back to the Air Alliance as they usually do, and the ones that had just left they had lost contact with. And this is where we join our group. So, you hear this message in your head, Ira. How do you respond? What do you do?
I don't know why I thought we ended the session and we had already gotten ourselves back and left.
Nope.
So I spent the last 7 days
talking to
preparing
Ross.
for something else.
You got done talking to Ross at the ticket counter, and that message came into your head as she told you that the airships were no longer leaving or coming back.
I like how you're like, I guess TSA. It's like, you're the one who made it.
It's not called TSA. Maybe it's called ASA.
ASA. American Sign Language.
That's ASL.
Wait, stupid.
Acronyms. Anyway.
I can't ask a question, right? Because he can't.
I mean, you can, if it's a sending spell, you can respond.
Is it? Do I know that?
No.
with message, you can't, but they also have to be within certain.
Hey,
like,
we out here.
So it's probably above table. It's probably sending.
You want to make an Arcana check and find out?
Is that something that I'm able to do?
I mean, it's a split-second decision, so you better make it quick. Figure it out.
Yeet. Not you. Not you.
No.
$27.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen messages like this before, or heard them. You've sent them with the sending stones.
No one just does sending with Ira. They do it with each other, but not with me. So.
Damn. Cindy sends you.
Through a rock.
Scrending. Yeah.
Sending deprived. Anyway.
She's needy, guys. She's just gonna respond back just really quick and simple. Heard. I'm on the way.
Okay.
Heard.
And you definitely heard that, like, God, now you said that. Like,
Heard.
repeat. This is just an echo chamber. You heard the message get cut off. So essentially, he was like saying the port of Mar is under attack, and it like kind of cuts off at like the end of like the word almost. So you're not necessarily sure if your message got back to him or not, but you responded. Now, what do you do?
Are we outside now? Are we like?
Nope.
Ira's gonna and go outside.
You guys are gonna essentially go back the way you came.
Yeah.
Okay. So you essentially have to go back through the whole check-in.
No, I was just gonna go
process.
outside. I'm not gonna go all the way.
like,
I'm not. Can I cook?
When you say outside,
I think we're in a building.
Yeah, you're in a building.
Yeah, I'm aware. Oh, so the whole thing is inside?
Yeah, it's like
I was picturing it like the
like an
Red
airport.
Fair where
No.
you go through like, scan your bags and you like.
It's
like an
there's
airport.
It's like a fortress where there's like interiors, and then there's like a large courtyard where the ships land.
You went through TSA, girl. You're stuck in here.
So you guys have to leave.
I didn't picture it as like a building. I pictured it as like still like a small city, and there are different kids. It's I don't know. I didn't picture it like a fucking actual airport.
It's very much like an outdoor mall, right? Where there's like you go into a store, like that's an interior, and then you go out, but you're still inside something.
But you're outside.
But there's just like no roof.
So yeah, we're outside.
I guess.
I guess by definition,
We're-
you are outside.
We're in
fact.
the airport, but we're out.
Okay.
So
We're
you're
not
in a
covered by
courtyard.
walls.
You're
Thank you.
You're going to the courtyard.
We're gonna go outside, which is what I said initially.
I'm glad we got the picture of like what this building is like constructed by them.
Absolutely. We have now learned sending again and the interior and exterior concept.
Stop.
I wasn't wrong.
Schrodinger's messages, guys.
I wasn't wrong.
You weren't wrong, but you weren't right. You'll never know until you open the box.
What box?
Schrodinger's cat.
Oh my god. Okay.
A lot of energy,
A
chaotic
long week. Whenever. So I'm going outside. I don't know if everyone's gonna follow.
Oh, Ira, where you? Well,
Come on.
okay.
Okay.
Oh, we get outside.
There's alarms going off, right?
energy here. Yes.
What's the energy outside? People
I
running
mean,
around.
there's a lot of staff members and like personnel moving around. And I will say that there are people being kind of like escorted to secure parts of the airport. Essentially, this is something where like they're needing to kind of essentially like the facility starting to lock down because they need to figure out if it's something internal, external. Very much like, you know, somebody leaves a suitcase in the middle of the airport and walks away and somebody freaks out. People don't go nowhere after that.
Do we want to
See
like?
something, say something.
Do we want to get locked in or locked out? Which one is it? Where
we
are
need to
going?
get locked out. We need to go to Port Mar now.
There's no ships coming in though.
Are you saying we steal one?
No, I'm saying you guys take my skeleton and let's just go.
So it's our only option.
What about the rest of your body?
Shut up. Was that Jackson said that?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just gonna have to close my eyes on that boat.
Well, actually, it's not a skeleton. It's a devil. A little bit better.
Oh.
So
Not really.
That's just the stat block you're supposed to use. You can
Let's-
flavor
let's-
it however
let's-
you'd like.
Oh,
Let's
okay.
let's focus on the right details.
That
That's
was
a
an
pretty
important
cool
detail
detail.
because when I describe this later, it's important.
So,
If that's the case. There's no railroad.
you know the guy that gave us the tattoos?
Yeah, Kira.
Yeah. Just got a little bing bong message. And yeah, Port Mar's under attack at the point right now. I'm assuming this has something to do with it probably.
Okay, yeah.
So we should go
Yeah.
now.
How do we get? Okay. Where's water?
We need to go.
Uh,
And we also need to get all of our weapons
Oh,
unsecured.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go.
Back through security.
Can we go back to security? They can let us
I
go?
mean, that where you're going to go?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't fucking
because her thing is in a trunk.
Got
Yeah.
5 locks on it.
Sure does.
And she dies every time.
Let's go get our stuff. I guess.
Okay, so you guys go back towards the main entrance of this facility.
I need Dawn for intimidation.
And so the guards are very much like,
You have babies around you. You can't intimidate with us.
the Aarencia Aeronautical Alliance is on lockdown at this moment. We're not going to be able to let anybody in or out at this time. I'm sorry that we can't let you pass at this moment.
We have the adventurance on our side. We would like to help you maybe defend. I'm trying to like figure out a way to get our equipment back, basically. Can you?
Oh, I
Ira?
don't understand what you mean.
We can try and help. Figure out what the threat is. Help you guys.
But you're going to do that from outside?
What I can tell you right now is that the Port of Mar is under attack. This is likely a coordinated effort with what's happening there. I can tell you that we were attacked by people who are likely behind this about, I don't know. I don't care if it's right or wrong. I don't know, 12 hours ago. So we need to go. I need to get there
So
to
what are you
make
gonna
sure
do
that
to
this
help?
unmitigated damage, the damage there does not reach here.
What else are you going to do to persuade this person?
I don't fucking know. My persuasion actually is not that bad. It's a +5.
I can't lie.
Neither can Ileana.
Oh wait,
Yeah, you can't. Everything you
would
just said was true.
How would you propose to prove that to these people?
Yura, can you pull out your thing?
I have the ring. The Marian ring.
Yes?
Yeah.
And what does that determine if they're telling the truth or not?
I don't know. They're not. I don't.
Sable,
What
can
do
you cast
want?
on
You're
the
not being
truth?
clear in what you want.
Okay, so I asked them how they were going to prove to the guards that they cannot tell a lie. And then you said the ring, and I was like, okay, where's
Hey,
the
Sable, can you
connection?
tell me?
Yeah.
Sable, is your hair blue?
Ew, no.
What color is your hair?
Blonde.
Are your parents dead?
Yeah. Look, listen. What do you need from us to let us have our stuff back?
What authority do you have to
To leave? We don't want to be trapped in here. There's people blowing stuff up outside.
I am
right,
the-
all the more reason to stay in here
But we don't want to stay in here. So why are you keeping us in here?
to keep everyone safe.
Okay,
I
but what if we
wanna
don't want to
go
be kept
out.
safe?
Yeah, what if we want to just go out and blow it up?
Let us live our life. Even if it's short.
YOLO!
I'd like to imagine that every time Ira tries to speak up, this is what happens in
That's
real
fine.
life
That's
or
fine.
in the game.
While all that chaos is happening, she's gonna reach into her bag and she's gonna pull out her diadem and put that on.
Okay.
And once there's a lull in conversation,
She's a princess.
I am the daughter of Lord and Lady Tan. I am an adventurant. I am the champion of Nylea. I will be leaving.
Okay, roll for persuasion.
Hey, I'm gonna guide you.
I mean, do you have a D6?
No,
Okay,
I
because
guess you're guiding yourself.
yeah, I have a D4, so it's the same.
I wish
Do it
guidance
myself.
failed.
I don't need your help. If only guidance stacked.
Where is it? Hold on. There you are.
+21.
21.
Plus, what is it?
Wait. Oh, because you're.
What is it?
Persuasion.
26.
Yeah. I was like, don't preemptively 21.
She said 21,
Plus?
so we did
But
it.
it's a plus.
I said plus?
And then she said
The
plus.
21.
Still a 21.
Let's remember Nina's rules. It's if you roll and it adds to a 21.
We gotta respect Nina, guys.
Respect the
Listen.
furball.
If we're respecting the Ferg, we're also going to do 22.
What?
What?
22.
Taylor Swift. Okay, does 26 work?
Yes.
Fantastic. How do we get all of our things magically blocked, please?
So you essentially convince them they recognize the adventurance symbol versus kind of more so than anything else. And they, because again, in Bogmarsh, they wouldn't necessarily know the Tons and then kind of the correlation to that.
I would think that when she put that on, though, that there was a complete demeanor shift
Yeah.
into her more.
Right. Well, it's
Yeah.
the same thing with the diadem as well as the adventurance pendant, right? It's like flashing a badge. It's kind of listen here, bud. And so they essentially kind of unlock and kind of debilitate your different weapons and things like that, and you're kind of ushered out. And
There's water nearby, right?
there's a moat surrounding this kind of fortress because the moat kind of leads to the kind of the coastline that this is kind of sitting up on.
I have a few questions.
Okay.
I forgot them, so keep going.
Yeah.
Okay.
So-
So you guys are all now you made your way across this bridge, and you're now back kind of on the forest line.
Do we see anything happening outside?
No.
Are there airships
Cool.
on fire?
The airships that are in the air that had left as you guys were in there are now kind of small in the sky, but they are flying
In that direction.
They're kind of flying in the kind of
Circling?
eastern direction, kind of heading towards where you would think
Okay.
the direction of Portimar is, given where you are on the map that you have, that kind of all that kind of stuff.
Oh, wait, that's Bogmarsh.
Wait.
Well, you are okay. So you guys are all in Bogmarsh
Yeah.
at the Aarencia Aeronautical Alliance, which is on the coast of the continent.
Yes. Sable, you said you're from the other side of the mountains near the port of Mars, so you know where we're going, right?
Can you make a history check for me, please?
Yeah, I had literally watched it in the last session I edited.
That's not where she said she was from.
She said she was from the.
I'm close.
You're from Mercanshire.
I know, I'm
Yeah.
not from Mar, but
Yeah.
I'm close to it.
She's on the other.
On the other side
Yeah,
of the
she's-
mountains.
she's
is
Are you
what
saying
she
from
said.
Mar or Port of Mar?
Port.
Oh, I don't know
Those
where
are
Port of
not in
Mar
close
is.
proximity.
Hmm.
Oh.
Look at the map.
Oh.
Look at her map. You can show the map.
This is the map of
She only has a
Bogmarsh.
map of
Yeah.
Bogwash.
Yeah. Where's Mercanshire on there?
Oh my god!
Oh my goodness. It's like you're on her home continent.
Mm. Why did you lie to us the first time you spoke?
That's
What do you
not, She
mean?
said she was from Mercanshire. That did not change. The mountains that line that town are on the mountains on the exterior of that towards the coast face the continent of Mar.
Of Mar.
Not Port of Mar.
Okay.
Like, there's me.
Because I know your
there's Mar,
parents.
and then there's Port of Mar.
There was like, people were like,
You're going to probably get a dump in the next 2 sessions, so just don't try to figure it out right now.
okay.
The
I thought you were on the other side of the Portimore Mountains, and there was a city called Mercanshire there, but that's wrong.
Well, there's the Port of Mar, me, and then Mar.
What?
Right?
What?
Mar's gone.
Like you showed me on your little map.
Let me pull down my whiteboard here. Editors, put in a green screen of the map. That
You gotta
falls
give
behind
me,
my
you
head.
gotta give me that asset to
No,
put
I'm
on.
not gonna do that. Anyway, so in theory, the Centurion Spire is right here. Port of Mar is here, because where you guys are looking from, and then Mar is over here, like up in this big old continent up here, and then over the top, Mercanshire is up over here.
Mm.
So there's a kind of continents differences between different things.
So almost the same thing. There's Mar.
So you kind
There
of know
are
where
mountains between them.
you kind of know where we're going in that general direction. Is where
No
we're
one
going.
said we're geographers.
Does it help if I know where we're going?
Oh yeah. Why me?
I just thought you
For
had
what
to know
circumstance?
for your boat.
Okay, so again, nobody made that clear. So I'm just going to say that out right now. Nobody said what you guys were doing. You just got outside, looked to see where the ships were, and then we're like, yeah, we're close, right? And now we just clarified. Welcome back to session 82.
I was just saying, you know what general direction it's in, right? That was my question. And then
Play the circus like...
We're trying our best here.
yeah, does it? So if do you have to know where you're going, or can one of us know where we're going?
Or can we just think of a
Sable,
place?
for context, and this is Jack saying this, I think they're talking about your spell.
Yeah.
Nobody knew that that's what was being talked
I
about.
thought we all knew.
Yeah, I thought we all knew.
Look, the telepathy is in the game, not in real life.
Get good.
Get good. You got to say it out loud.
Okay,
The
so
folks at home need to know.
can you see on your little map where water touches other water close to where we have to go?
No.
You can't
No.
see where we have to go on that map.
Yeah, you can't. It's only a section map.
My hometown is on a different
Mm.
continent.
But do we know that the water around this place reaches the water around Port of Mar? Because it has to be on the same.
It's a port, right? It has to. Like
Can you make a history check for me, please?
we've been there before. We were literally looking at the
For
the water.
me, it's a 16.
I need Sable to
Oh.
give me a history check.
A 10.
So she
A
has to know.
10?
I haven't
Are you
rolled a
sure
double
about
digit.
that?
Are you sure about that?
Are you sure about that?
It could have been a 7.
So let me get to your spell because I'm pretty sure there's a lot. This is a complex spell.
I know, that's what I was
So
reading.
it's like we're getting
It's 3 paragraphs.
that's
Holy crap.
but in very condensed format. So it could just be like 4 sentences a piece.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me, I've read this spell very closely, guys.
That's how I feel being a druid, though. I'm like, oh, I gotta read a fucking
Let's,
3 paragraphs.
Let's have a little. So
It has to be along the same water.
this
map does not show like rivers and shit. So we
So
don't.
if you read the last paragraph, because yes, the first paragraph talks about crossing a body of water. But if you read the bottom,
Oh.
it says
Casting at a higher
the
spell.
boat can take you and your companions across your planar lower body into the ethereal plane and then exit in another body of water. So if you get in this water, you can come out to a different water that's close to where you need to go.
Okay, yeah. I was looking at the wrong. Okay, cool.
See, my question
That's why.
is
But
the
that's at a higher level, and I'm out of 4th, so I have to do 3. But it says 3 or higher, so it's okay.
So the question is, do you need to know where that body of water
Nope.
is?
It does not specify that.
Okay. That was where I was trying to go, and then we all got really confused.
Yeah. Because I think the previous notion was that it needed to be connected, which
Yeah.
technically all of these bodies of waters are connected in some way, shape, or form. Just not real close.
Wow.
So she just explained all of that to you all.
Geography.
Not to be rude, but can we go?
Yeah.
Do we have our weapons and everything?
Yeah.
You do.
We're on the outside of the gate, right?
I have a
Yes.
question.
You've crossed the bridge across the boat and are all against the tree line.
How long does it take for us to transport?
I don't know.
Does not specify.
Because do we want to go into a fight like kind of really down from being attacked, or do we I don't know if we can rest on the boat?
I'll have you make a history check this time.
Okay.
You can guide yourself.
I already rolled, but I rolled a 15.
Okay. You remember from your time in the ethereal plane,
Yeah.
time works differently.
Yeah. I thought we were in the astral plane.
Sort of.
Okay.
You were in the world between worlds.
Okay, cool.
But still.
Okay.
In many planes of existence, Bay, ethereal, astral,
Uh-huh.
747, the
I don't understand
time
that
works
reference.
different.
MCU stuff.
No, 747 is a plane. Get it?
Oh, shit. Okay. That's
Planes of
good.
existence.
That's so good.
and there's Nina, confident but wrong again.
That's an MCU reference.
Yeah, the MCU.
That's so funny.
Anyway,
All right. I can't answer all your questions, but maybe the ferryman can. So I'll just make him appear in this water.
Okay.
Yeah, it's okay. You can just ask them stuff, maybe. Maybe.
Okay.
And then she's going to go close to the water, and she's just going to look at it and cross her fingers that she can do it.
While
spell.
you're doing that, do you want Stella in the box for this?
Hey, Stella. Hey. Hey, Stella. Hey, Stella.
she
Stella.
barks in response.
And she's I want you to be safe, so I'm gonna put you in the box, okay? I'm sorry.
Like ears kind of fold back.
I don't want you to get hurt, okay? Hey, here's a fun idea. What if I put my book in there with you, and then you can read while you're in there?
She can't read.
We don't know that. She can turn into her human form, maybe. She can read.
While she's in the box?
Maybe.
Do you know?
Maybe. I don't know if she could try
I
it.
mean, you certainly try.
Do you want Cole to go in the box, dear?
He looks. No, he's all right. We good. And we kind of he does a little fist bump with Cole.
God, I love that thing.
Actually, you know what?
Cole just
You know what, Stella? You can stay out.
okay.
You want to have fun? Okay.
Can't wait for what's coming next.
I just
Sick.
she's useful in a utility sense sometimes, so I'm well, yeah, sure.
Pet people, am I right?
What do we see when
I gotta
she's
take my
casting
cat
this?
with me.
I gotta take my emotional support, Kitsune.
My baby.
So you essentially kind of cross your fingers and you see this out of the little pouch kind of on your hip card and it's the chariot and it pops up and this light kind of casts out into the water and you see as like kind of like there's a lot of like smoke that kind of essentially kind of comes around because it's almost like the heat of this spell mixed with the water temperatures kind of creates like a little bit of a mist. And as the mist kind of breaks free, you see. I'll make sure. There we go. Yeah, gotta get the atmosphere, guys.
Oh yeah.
The at a glance, the boat appears almost ordinary. It's a very well-made, large vessel, enough to carry essentially up to like 9 people. Has a lot of familiar like sweeping curves with like a river skiff or a coastal fishing craft. But you notice that where other boats kind of have this certain kind of grain-like texture of timber, it gleams with an otherworldly kind of pale luster. And on the back of the boat, kind of similar to that of a gondolier, is a skeleton kind of in these like heavy, thick robes, and he kind of stands at the back of the boat with like this like large kind of stick to kind of help guide it.
Withers?
And
I was thinking Undertale, like boat dude.
very much like think the taxi driver from Halloween Town.
But
mixed with that of like a gondolier in like the river Styx of Hercules. Like, so it's very much like that. Again, the make of the boat doesn't catch you off guard at first. I would like whoever, you all can do it as a group or just one of you, doesn't matter. Go ahead and make a nature check.
Okay. A chill goes down Eliana's spine as she sees this skeleton.
Yep.
10.
That is a 17.
17.
Dirty 20.
30, 20.
11.
11. Yeah, Jax doesn't do anything.
He's trying his best.
He's trying his best. So with the dirty 20 and the 17, you recognize that this boat is not made of wood. It is made up of planks that have been cut for massive, dense bones.
Oh no!
It's so masterfully sawn and sanded that they resemble bleached wood. Each length is smooth with subtle grain-like striations from the marrow's ancient patterns, lending the boat a faintly marbled kind of texture. The hull is neatly fitted together, seamless and true, with joints that interlock so perfectly that it seems as if the vessel grew rather than was built that way. So you essentially are seeing this like boat made of bones, but it's not bones like in the shape of like just like Halloween-y like bones put together, but it is like a wooden boat where the wood is bone instead.
Does Sable know that you know this now?
I would think like
Because
I
you're
would
the
think
17.
Eliana's starting to panic.
Eliana's like, okay.
Sable's gonna come up to Eliana, and she's gonna grab both of Eliana's hands. She's gonna try to make her feel better. So just so you know, this is Sable trying. Time is made up to help us make sense of what's going on around us. So in, like,
Shut up!
a bigger picture, in a bigger picture, we're all already dead. We're just catching up to death. You know what I mean? So
that's not helpful. That's not helpful.
Cycle of nature. The cycle of nature. We are using nature's resources. They're becoming useful things. She's like trying to like. We are using this to our advantage. It is the balance of life and death. Okay, let's
she
go.
try-
who knows? This could have been bad guys.
Get me in the boat. Get me in the boat. Let's go.
Blueberry muffin.
Does she want to put Stella in the box now?
No, she's like holding stuff so tight.
Keeping her paws from touching the floor.
Sable's gonna get on the boat.
And so as you guys kind of approach this boat, the ferryman kind of looks to you and he says, "Hey, Sable, how are you? It's good to see you finally. You know, was waiting whenever you needed me, but..."
Oh man, I like really appreciate that.
And you remember this person's name to be that of Scully.
How are you, Scully?
You know, I'm hanging in there, you know.
That's so good to hear.
Nothing but skin and bones these days, but, you know.
Hey, but you know, time looks good on you.
Appreciate it,
Yeah.
you know. Yeah, we're just doing this thing, you know. I do my job.
I'm trying to take my friends to up the water, like Port of Mar area. Do you think we could do that?
And
Port
he kind
of
of
Mars
like looks around and
specifically?
he's like,
Not area specifically.
Port of Mars specifically, according to the boss over here.
I could
Boss is
probably get you
quotated.
guys into in the harbor. It's gonna be a bit of a trek, Hope you guys are ready to settle up. And he kind of looks over like at a couple of you and he's like, yeah, I don't know if the river Ombreth is gonna be kind to some of these folks, but
I'm hoping they'll be strong.
they'll be all right.
Yeah. So when does my concentration start? And do you have to roll?
So
anything?
you essentially it's concentration. It's up. I think
hour.
for an hour. You have to hold the concentration for an hour.
Mhm.
So we'll do it as we go.
Okay. Sounds
I'm
good.
pretty sure for concentration, I think it's your spell modifier. What?
It's only if she takes damage.
It's only
too.
if you
yeah,
take damage.
so it's only if you
Yeah.
take damage. So as
or
long
if you
as
cast another concentration spell.
yeah. So you won't necessarily have to roll for it unless like something happens. And if that happens, we'll get the rest of that bridge when we come to it. Because your spell casting focuses.
How do I know that? Where do I see that?
Well, as a cleric, I think it's wisdom.
Should be wisdom, I think.
Yeah, it should be wisdom.
Okay. I don't know how to tell.
If you scroll to your top, what's your biggest modifier?
Constitution.
What's your second biggest modifier?
Wisdom.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I would
Okay.
think that's the So you all essentially slowly get onto this boat. And like I said, since it's a larger vessel, it doesn't it's not like a rowboat where it's gonna rock. It's so as soon as you get on it, it's very sturdy. As like the kind of the wind breezes like through this area that you're in, you almost hear this like it's like this like soft kind of hollow tone, almost like musical, as the sound of like whispers of like old stones or chorus of like fairway bells kind of like hits. It's almost like the air is like making these bones kind of like sing a certain way with the way that the vessel is crafted. Because it doesn't give you this like there's no sense of like death or dread when you get on this thing. It's almost just kind of gives you this like
It's just a boat.
yeah. Well, it's just the musical aspect of it would seem almost kind of like ethereal in the way that it's kind of like like how like wind hits kind of like an opening and something it whistles kind of. It's almost something similar to that. So you essentially get on this boat, and he says, "All right, hang tight." And he essentially kind of like uses the staff that he has, and he kind of pushes off. And as he does, this like it's almost as if like as you guys are kind of going down this river, you're seeing it what would normally be like this river ahead of you, like kind of the moat that would lead to like the larger body of water. But it's almost as if like a waterfall kind of like is like the downward opening of a waterfall kind of hits like towards like in the path that you're going. And he says, "Hold on to your hats, kids." And the boat kind of like goes and it goes and it just goes straight down.
Eliana's eyes were closed the whole time.
But the boat doesn't disconnect from the water. It's almost like it's being held in place. So it just goes and kind of just goes, and it goes like straight down. And as you see this, as it comes to, you essentially kind of like almost like you don't notice a change in orientation for all of you, but it's very much like a log flume ride when you like go through it. But as you do, you're going into this like kind of enclosed waterway, and very much you're seeing around you like this endless kind of like slow moving river, kind of entombed within this like ancient crumbling kind of like sewer like architecture. There's towering brickwork arches, slick with age and heavy with mist. They stretch overhead, kind of almost like ribs of a forgotten beast. The air is thick and damp, filled with the sharp scent of wet stone and almost that of decaying life.
Bro.
And the faint metallic tang of a lot of magic unraveling.
When we hit the bottom, kind of like get our bearings, Ira's gonna pull out the box one more time and just hold it open
So
as if to say, anybody else
So this
want to
isn't-
get in the box?
this isn't going to be like a zigzag. So essentially, it's almost like your straight path just changed. And so you're now just,
once we get oriented.
you do it the moment you hit that. It's almost as if like you were just going down the river straight. It never changed. There's no like jarring or jostliness of the boat. It just, for mortals, it's a little disorienting as far as like what you just have entered into. But yeah. So you hold the box open to Eliana.
Jax for Cole, just in case.
And Jack's the Cole kind of like skitters around the back of his neck and kind of just like tucks himself, and his little head's like poking out of like the side of his coat. And then like Cole just kind of like,
Kira's gonna pull out her cloak. She hasn't been wearing it, and offer it to Eliana. I was like, it has a really big hood. You can cover your eyes. You want it?
Yes, please.
Okay, she's gonna just, like, put it over her and then like pull the hood over her head. Like, okay, you should be okay now.
She's really trying, but she's struggling. Especially when he was like the decay of life. I'm like, great, we're back in my flashbacks of my village.
It's cool. Literally worst case scenario for you.
It's so bad.
as you all look around, the waters are like this churning amalgamation of drifting souls, severed magic from intersecting ley lines, and the raw energies of the cosmos. The water itself, kind of on each of the sides of this boat, as you kind of essentially like look over, it's almost as if there's no current, but a massive current all at the same time. Like you see moving, kind of rushing souls, kind of like almost like swimming through, very very similar to like that of like Hercules, right? But more of like this like ghostly kind of like ethereal kind of translucency, and you the water seems like deceptively calm, but just beneath there are strange currents that are kind of pulling just all impossible directions. There's a lot of echoes of like voices and just different like ancient songs. You just hear a lot of these different like voices and tones and just like different like things it's going through, but like kind of muffled by the water. And you see on the banks, the riverbed itself remains visible in certain like kind of shallow stretches. It reveals a landscape that betrays the river's true nature. It's not silt and stone alone that lies beneath, but a surreal mixture of natural and unnatural forms. Blackened sands, heavy as lead, veins of glittering minerals like crushed stars, patches of sickly reeds that kind of sway without wind, and jagged bones that too large and misshapen to belong to any earthly creature. The banks are steep and crumbling, often lined with weaving black willow-like trees whose roots bleed into the current. So these ceilings are very tall, like it's massive. Like you're essentially going through this large kind of tunnel. And there's like these like different, but like I said, the top is almost like architectural, and then the bottom is nature. So the banks are very naturalistic. And the moment that this, because it's all very much like happening fast. Like you're only in this place for maybe like a minute or two before. Can you give me a perception check, please, Verity?
Yep. World between worlds.
God damn.
Welcome again.
You're welcome.
What if she sees the child?
Which one? That's
It'd be a perception check, please.
before I say what it is. That came across my mind, and I really was not wanting it. That being said, with me, everyone. 21.
You hear almost like a chink, and you hear this like as the souls that are in the daggers that you hold now leaving the hilts of the daggers and kind of floating off into the space and kind of like merging with the water, but kind of are going off into these like separate like corridor like expanses from the sides of the walls in this space. And you hear,
He's gonna be so mad.
finally, all these years I've been stuck in this fucking expanse, and I finally have what I needed.
Wait.
And I thank you, because the last one I needed was the one you gave me in the woods. And now, I am going to need you on your character sheet. You are going to need to take the Magic Initiate feat of a wizard, and you are going to have 3 specific spells that you need to have. You are going to have Mage Hand, Mind Sliver, and Shadow Hands.
Where's my spreadsheet?
Do you need help?
Do you need me to add it for you?
Please.
Okay, let me do that.
I'm just like, what's happening?
I thought this was a bad thing. Like I thought like Erebus
Uh-huh.
was. I thought Erebus was like angry. He's like, I'm losing all the souls that I collected, but I'm like, Oh,
No,
wait.
I think it's worse. I
That's
think
worse.
that's worse.
I was like,
Say,
this
we're
one's
just
worse.
getting started, folks.
I was like, he's gonna be so mad at you. You like let all his souls go. And I'm like, oh wait, no, this is the opposite.
No,
You just couriered them
Yeah,
right to his front door.
yeah.
So we'll do this one.
We'll just come somewhere. It's like he's back.
This one.
Yay, more spells to keep track of.
This one.
More spells that I don't read for like 20 more sessions.
Okay. So if you go ahead and refresh your sheet, those will be there.
Do I get more health? No, I'm just kidding.
So these will be very specifically flavored whenever you use them. So that will be up to my discretion. So you hear as almost as if it was right next to you.
Oh no.
You see
No.
this shadowy figure, and it's sitting next to you on the boat. And it says, "See, you did uphold our agreement. And I thank you. Therefore, I am but enough to honor my end of the deal, and I offer my services. I will be with you in a more cooperative capacity. When you need some things or you need my help, I will lend you my shadows or myself.
This could be useful. Be happy about it. This is some Baldur's Gate.
But in order to do this,
Shadow Daddy stuff.
I will need more souls to keep fulfilling our contract. And honestly, whether you like it or not, I'm no longer confined to this space. You've set me free. Most what you've accomplished in a few months, what some couldn't do in a lifetime. You should be proud of yourself. This will be a new era for that of Erebus. And with you at my side, we shall change a lot of things. And you feel this like almost like a breeze as the shadow kind of like wafts away, almost like the blowing of dust.
Now two of us are crying.
I imagine Verity's also sitting next to him and she's like, oh
What's wrong? What's happening?
And you feel her hand as you grab Verity's hand. And what normally would be warm to the touch because that of a tiefling and the way the normal body temperature physiology is now cold.
Okay, you're freezing. You're freezing.
Do I feel normal? Or do I feel cold too?
You feel completely normal. There's a probably, I'd like to think there's a little bit more of a, almost like when you have like, you're hungry and like there's like this like kind of feeling in your stomach of like you need to eat, like this emptiness, but on a more
Me this morning.
spiritual level.
Oh no.
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 What's wrong with you?
I might have freed Erebus.
She like takes the hood off. What? What? Oh God! What is this place?
Verity's like disassociating, just looking down at the boat, like the bottom of the boat.
And
What?
there are like these like soft like kind of almost like pockets of clouds, like because there's like essentially like you're on this water and there's like mist, kind of like fog, almost like around the boats as you're kind of cutting through this, and the boat's like kind of bow is like parting this as you guys are going through, so it's not necessarily like impeding your vision or like kind of you're not going through it or anything.
What does that mean?
bad things.
Oh, there's souls in this water.
What is that? Can you define? Ira's ignoring Eliana because I feel like everyone else had already probably at the moment
Yeah.
freaked out about this. What is that? So we're heading into a bad situation. So I need to know: is this a bigger bad situation or is this a good bad situation?
Is he eating all of these souls?
Eating the souls that were in my daggers. You know, wizards and fighters and clerics. I read about them. They put him away for a reason, and I just freed him with the souls from my dagger.
Wait, what happened with the souls with your deck? Where? What?
Yeah.
How?
I don't know. It's a magical dagger. He gave it to me.
So you had two.
Yes, I meant daggers, plural. A lot's happening. I would really like to continue to disassociate. We can talk about this later.
Wait, but doesn't that mean it's just somebody else's problem? Like, why is it your problem now?
Does that mean you're out of the pact?
No.
Yeah. No?
Then what does that mean?
Like he said I held up my end of the bargain, and so like I can use him for if I call upon him, but I still have to feed him souls. You know that thing in the cave?
So
Hold on. The thing in the cave. The thing in the cave.
What you're telling me is that we're walking into Port of Mar, what's likely going to be an active battle, and we have a very powerful fiend on our side.
Sounds good to me.
No. Nope. You remember? Because it would be good. Do you remember the cave, the trials we went through? Remember seeing that version of me?
No. Cool. Because I was communing with Nylea at that time. So.
And the trials with like.
The husks, where you saw the alternate versions of yourself.
Yeah.
I went back to.
You went
time
way.
we-
Yeah, you went back farther.
to like when we met Verity.
Nah.
Yeah.
So he was like almost describing like that kind of future for me. And I want to get away from that. I don't like that. I really don't want to call upon him.
How many times a year can you update the terms and conditions of your pact?
Like a software update.
Do you need to give him like a 60-day notice or? Sorry.
Was that a technology check or?
No. Put the iPhones down, kids.
Yeah, but Ira, to your point about having a powerful fiend on her side, Thanatura was on my side once, but that didn't go very well. So if they're evil, they're evil.
Yeah. I don't like this.
Can you make a Constitution saving throw for me, please? Because while Eliana was saying that to you, because she was looking down over the boat at the souls in the water.
That's a 19 plus 3. 22.
You were looking down at these souls and you felt your hand kind of almost like reaching out, and then you kind of like snap out of it and then say that to Verity.
This place is bad.
Well, we're stuck here until we get to where we're going.
How much longer is that?
I don't know. Go take a nap or something. Sorry, I don't mean to be pissy.
I appreciate your work for getting us here.
Thank you. I really appreciate you saying that.
Because I feel like everyone's taking it for granted.
I'm just terrified.
Scully.
And it reminds me of the dead people at my home. So, yeah.
Do you want to go take a nap?
Funny you should say that.
Oh.
Stop! But no!
You had pulled your hand back and it had just kind of briefly like caressed this like cloud of mist that's kind of sitting on the sides of the boat. And the moment that you do this, like, you bring that up, and essentially all of you are. I'm going to need you all to make Constitution saving throws for me, please.
Me?
all of you.
Okay.
Natural 20. Nice.
Plus 5.
Nat 20.
6.
13. Attracts with how fucking
So
paranoid she is.
13, 6,
Natural 20.
natural 20.
Yeah.
What is it? What does it equal?
Oh, okay.
Oh, natural 20 plus, what was it? A constitution save?
Mhm.
Yeah.
25.
25,
Yeah.
26.
25.
So 2 25s. Okay.
What Jack's roll?
He rolled a 24. So the 2 natural 20s don't necessarily feel any of this, but the people on the other side of this that have felt a lot of despair,
Yeah.
emotional damage, especially of recently,
Emotional
We're a little underbaked on the
the
I don't know
childhood
about
trauma department.
you bring
I
up
have
the
no
concept
parents.
of all the people that you remember of perishing
there.
in your village, and these it's almost as if like your pupils kind of like expand briefly in this moment, and Jax, Verity, and Eliana all experience. It's as if you're experiencing like tens of hundreds of deaths all at the same time. You're hearing these screams, pain, agony, the destruction, and all of you are essentially living what looked and felt of Eliana's village and the decimation that exuded that area.
Hey. Hey, Jack. Say Verity.
I'm really glad that I rolled a natural 20.
So it's like very much like paranoia, cold
too.
sweats, as like your minds are kind of being flooded with all of this.
You would have understood Eliana more, though. We would have bonded.
Oh, boo.
Can we tell that they're like
Are they like
Going through that?
screaming in agony or anything?
Can we
The-
try to snap them out of
It's
it?
very much like they're kind of like falling inward into their own minds. And Scully kind of looks at the two of you and says, "Best to keep them out of the fogs. There, it's not good. Those are the memory mists.
How do we get them out?
I mean, they just gotta live through it. There's no way out of it.
Is there like a place in this boat in the middle? Is there like seats or something? Like
You guys,
how-
yeah, there's 6 seats you guys are all sitting on. Essentially, it's like
Oh, okay.
yeah.
to the middle of the boat with you guys.
I feel like Eliana's just like collapsed in the middle of the boat.
Yeah. So you can essentially try to move them, but yeah.
I mean, is it really gonna matter? Because if the boat is moving through the mists,
No, so so it's like you all share a connection, as you have learned from the temple. And when Eliana's hand touched the mist and she brought up is something from her past, the memory that would have been handled differently under normal circumstances, and or just, will deal with their own stuff, infected almost into the link that you all share. And because this mist touched her skin, it essentially like spread that pain, that witnessing, that anguish into those with weaker constitutions. And those who essentially have a little bit more sadness, despair, like lack of a better phrase, trauma, are a little bit more afflicted. And essentially, we're living and witnessing that of what Eliana witnessed and felt.
To be fair, I feel like Ira's seen all of her friends die, so. But, yeah.
she's about to see her whole city burn.
Yeah. Hey, we're going to be on the same page now.
Trauma bonded.
We don't know what's happening in Portamar. You just know that it's under attack.
It's actually a masquerade ball.
Dude.
No, not like that.
It's
Hey,
a
guys,
surprise
everyone-
for you.
Everyone get your Pinterest boards ready.
Yay!
Yeah, and then you're going to have to draw everybody in those costumes.
Oh no, thanks. Maybe in chibi style.
I feel like Eliana has gone like non-verbal and has just like enveloped herself in the cloak and is just like a mass of like.
You pulled
cloak
it back
in the-
up.
Yeah, she's just like a puddle in the cloak in the middle of the boat.
And
I would think this cloak would absolutely devour
Yeah.
her. Like, she could easily pass like a pile of garbage.
Yeah.
So yeah. So you all are in the boat.
Verity's just rocking back and forth, trying to like calm herself down.
Yeah.
And it doesn't last for very long. But obviously your own fallout from what you've experienced and witnessed just then.
Just gonna stay here. In my own safe space. Up cloak.
What is it the rest of you all do?
I mean, Ira's going to be in her head. That's kind of where she is all the time now.
Okay.
She probably goes to sit like at like the front.
Okay.
Just kind of her thought is like the expectation is like the front of the boat's going to see where we're going first. So it's like a portal that opens.
Okay.
Guess I'll take a short rest while I'm at it.
I would think so.
If enough time passes, I'll also take a long rest. But for now, I'll just take a short rest.
You have a fuzzy on your forehead. There you go. Sorry.
Can we all take short rests then?
I would think so. Yeah.
But I can't because I'm concentrating. Is that how it works?
I think so, yes.
Okay.
So, you all take essentially short rests. And Jax. Okay. Jax is going to make a Constitution saving throw. And it is a 9. And after a bit of a moment, in his mind, he hears, "Hey, buddy. Why the long face?" And he looks next to him, and again, he didn't see what Verity saw. But it is the same, like shadowy-like figure sitting next to Jax. And none of you else can see this. Only maybe, depending on where Verity's at in her mind, would potentially need to look around and see it. But, and he says, I mean, that's just a lot. There's a lot of things. I just feel so sad all the time. And Jax is very much like out of it. Just kind of very like in his head.
Is he talking out loud?
He thinks he is.
But he's not.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
And Jax kind of continues to we keep walking into more hopeless situations, one after another. And I've already lost so much. I don't want to lose any more of these people. Any of the people around me. And the shadowy figure says, I know a thing or two about despair.
Question. Does
Mhm.
Verity, like, sense him?
Mm-hmm.
She kind of looks in that direction.
And you see this shadow, you see the shadowy figure of what was sitting next to you. Sitting next to Jax.
Hey.
And there's this like kind of almost like the like shadows kind of being pulled off of like it's almost like this like large dark cloud is kind of around Jax and it's being fed into Erebus.
No.
A cat on the counter.
Yeah, hey. Back off. Off limits.
I mean,
Back the fuck off, Erebus. And Verity says that out loud enough for everyone to hear.
Kira's gonna
Okay.
turn around.
and you all see that there's nothing on the, like, she's, like, Severity's, like, staring at an empty space next to Jax. Well, I'm free to do as I like, aren't I?
Not with this group.
Oh, but come on. Despair's my thing.
I will throw these daggers into that water.
There's more than one way to get a soul.
I'm gonna say it one more time. Back the fuck off.
My. All of a sudden, you're the brave one. How interesting. And he kind of like, it's almost like he's wafting closer to you on the boat. And kind of gets in your face. And you see for the first time this, like, underneath the hooded visage of this. And this, like, black, kind of, like, almost gnarled, spiked, kind of, like, rigid skin. And these, like, deep teal and, like, almost like this mixture of, like, teal and red eyes. This is... And what are you gonna do about it?
Ooh, what came to mind? Love y'all, this is gonna backfire. Verity's gonna try and, like, use the daggers on Erebus.
Okay.
I'm here for it, bro.
Roll for the attack.
I tried to throw an ice knife at Thanatura. You go, girl. You go.
Oh my god.
Don't fight on the boat.
You made a choice. A choice.
I believe in you. It's a choice.
I'm trying to defend Jax here. I know you can't see it.
Yeah, I have no idea what the fuck's going on.
Fucking hell. 16.
16.
That's not gonna hit. I know that's not gonna hit.
You grab the dagger on your hip and you kind of try to, like, flip it around and try to, like, and his hand kind of like grabs your wrist in kind of midair. And he says,
Stop it. Stop.
"You calm down."
She went,
It's not not that kind of a show,
I
Caroline.
know. It's fun to listen to.
Why are you so red?
He's a shadow daddy.
He says,
He called himself daddy earlier, okay?
"I don't think
Stop it,
that was
Allie.
wise." As he kind of, like, grabs the wrist and he kind of almost, like, lifts you up, and you see Verity kind of just, like, levitate out of this boat, like, up into the air.
Oh, can I?
Let's see how your friends,
Can I grab her feet?
as they see into your past. And he kind of pushes you straight out into the mist above, like, on the sides of the boat, and then kind of, like, tosses you back down into the boat. As you, like back into, like, kind of like the floor of the boat. I need all of you to make Constitution saving throws with disadvantage.
What is the thing that I have that lets me to detect fiends?
Divine sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to do that.
I feel like we're past that at this point.
Fuck you! Natural 20. Wait, that's disadvantage. Never mind.
Yeah, nice.
Just roll another natural 20. It's fine.
Yeah, just roll another natural 20. We'll be all right. 2 natural 20s. If we do, that's definitely getting posted on the Instagram.
I rolled them at the same time. Oh my gosh. I love that. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. With a disadvantage?
I rolled a 16. I have a +4 for Constitution.
Yeah.
Well, Jack's got a 2 + 6, so an 8.
14 total.
14. Dirty 20.
10.
10,
7.
7.
Nice.
So, Verity sits on the boat as she looks up and watches her friends essentially drift off in their minds. And in this moment, you essentially are all met with this, like, flashing, almost like snippet images, like fly on the wall perspectives of every single one of Verity's kills, whether it was with you or before. And you're watching, and you see...
We see the guy on the boat! We see the navigator! We see the navigator!
You see her killing the child in the bedroom, the same one that you saw before, Ira.
Uh-huh.
You see other jobs and odds and ends that she had to do and kill. And you see Verity strike down in the middle of the evening the navigator on the boat. You see all the kills that she made with you, all as a group. And you see her striking down the child once more in the underground chapel in the Ware. And you all watch, and you see on Verity's face the face of joy.
But she has black eyes.
No, she doesn't.
She had black eyes when she went after the other guys.
Oh, do her eye colors just are...
In some instances, yes. Some instances, her eyes are black.
What's the expression when they're not black?
It's the same.
This means nothing to you. This is a decision making.
Okay.
Is that a nat 20?
Nat 20.
Fucking kidding me? What does that mean for you?
Yeah, what does that mean for you?
That is a slew of assumptions.
Oh my god.
So, and you see
Unhinged theories.
it's, and like, again, like as these like clips, you're seeing all of these kind of different things play out. In the first bits of them, you had seen a shadowed entity, very much like kind of like how you teach somebody to like shoot pool or like to drive a ball in like golf and things like that. There's somebody kind of guiding her hand, teaching her what to do. And as the more of these kills you see, the less you see of the shadowed figure. And the more that you realize some of those kills, while they may have all been for Erebus, some of those were Verity's choice. Whether it be on a surface or subconscious level.
Are we out of it? Like out of the thing?
You kind of like as the last kill in the woods was the very last one that you guys would have seen anyway. In the woods, like kind of leading up to the Aeronautics Alliance, but yeah.
Do we see her floating?
So she's on the floor of the boat. She had gotten thrown, basically pushed fully into the mist and then thrown back into the boat.
Ira's gonna cast Divine Sense.
Okay. I mean, that shit's just going fucking bonkers where you are right now.
So I can lock in on Verity, and then the entire area is also going in like
There's
insane.
Fiends, undead, souls. This whole area is just fucking lit up.
I don't know if it works like this. I want to try anyway. Is there anything that in the same radius you can also detect presence of any place, object that has been consecrated or desecrated as with the hollow spell? Okay, I didn't know if it was relevant or not. It's not. Or is there any like point in it that's more like?
You're trying to look for him. Is that what you're doing?
I'm trying to. Yeah.
It's not enough to discern whether he's in one spot or the other.
So in her head, she's going to discern. Could be wrong. I don't really care if she is. She's going to discern he's not as powerful as he says he is.
Still confident, still wrong.
But well, because in her mind,
yeah,
Ilea, Thanatora, Flossidus, Like they're pretty like, boom, here we are. And so, but
It's safe.
this character choice that I rolled,
Yeah.
How many like deaths did we see? Like more than 50, 100, 225? Like
He's rolling.
67.
Holy shit!
Oh my god.
Gee, okay. That wasn't in the backstory.
The math kind of tracks a little bit given like the combats and things.
feels
you
like
guys
to
have
be
been in,
fair, you
so.
probably
It's
could've,
been
like,
3 years too, so like at least.
that's not many over 3 years. Then, dang,
It's about 20 a year.
you get nice
Depending on-
vacations.
But like a lot of these are different ages, men, women, children.
Yeah.
2 children, to be specific.
Give me a history check.
Do I not remember?
Bro, you're like, you killed more children. You
Oh my, Justin. 12.
There are some that you do not remember.
Oh no.
probably blurs together.
Some of them were families. Some of them good, bad.
Sarah's never playing a warlock again. She's too sweet for this.
And in the words of the patron, the innocent souls are the more potent ones.
Ew.
See? You beat me to the laugh. Damn.
It's okay. You were groomed.
Honestly?
yes.
Jesus Christ.
You know, I was literally giving it a beat to then say something really fucking heavy.
All right, we're going there, folks.
I mean, like, anyway. So,
How young was she in the first one?
So how old are you now?
26, I was 23.
So she started at 23.
Little baby.
is it my turn?
Yeah,
Mhm.
sorry.
Ira's gonna say this projecting to this space.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's focused on this navigator. Like, that's the only one that Ira really, like cares about. So you mean to tell me you opened the door for the Eyes of Dendia to find and track me by having Verity kill the navigator and getting that shit stain of a pretty boy on that ship to then follow us to Luer? Are you a piece of the puzzle?
All Verity hears in her mind. So- How naive. And you can see this like shadow entity try to almost just like kind of get close, almost kind of waft over to try to talk to Ira. But there's this like greenish kind of like radiant light kind of like that kind of like poof, like pushes him back.
Mom's not that mad.
Verity just has this shitting grin on her face when she sees that.
I do think she did tell us about the navigator previously.
Mm-mm. You had all
No.
just learned this now.
Okay.
That's why
I
I
think-
panicked.
I think Verity says out loud, oh, I just had it and it left me, but hard going up against Nylea, isn't it?
Did I feel the push?
You did.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a bit rusty after all. It'll take a little bit of catching my bearings. But I'll get there. And rest easy, young Verity. We have more work to do. And as I said, it just makes so much more freeing to relish in the fact that your father could see you now and what you've become. Would he be proud? But then again, if you could see your father now, I'm not so sure you'd be proud. And you just hear this like echoing, like, as it fails out, it trails off.
I feel like Verity, in my head, it's like, this feels like a tantrum. She's going to throw her book of shadows into the...
Into the water?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can resummon another one.
You throw it down. Hits you in the back of the head as it kind of like, it goes like into the water and comes back out the other side. Just like,
I imagine she had gone up to after she tossed it.
much like that.
Yeah. And then as she gets hit, she makes that noise and then just hits the bottom of the boat again.
Okay. How do you all react to the things that you had seen from Verity? More so the other silent folks at the table.
Eliana's still just like, she's like unresponsive.
Okay.
I think Ira is like overwhelmed with everything else. And in her head, she's like, I knew about this. This is a non-issue for me at this point.
Okay.
Like, what was even the point of that? That was a waste of my time.
Okay.
So basically, in her head, it's more of just like a reinforcement of like the relationship with Verity, that it's not defined by the things that she's been made to do.
Okay.
Sable doesn't know how this river works,
Okay.
so she's just going to kind of make the assumption that maybe it's not true. Same
Okay.
with like just hearing about like all these traumatic things that were happening. She knows she's here in this space, and what she has to do is make sure Scully doesn't turn on us. So she's going to sit up there with him or wherever he is, and she's just going to shuffle her tarot cards and let them kind of do their thing, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to stay out of it.
I feel like Eliana's going to be processing this later, but not in like a necessarily negative sense because of how she was kind of groomed by Thanatura. Like, it's kind of like a similar vein. Even though like yours was very brutal and like Verity was forced to do these things, she was still like under that influence. But Eliana hasn't gotten to that point yet. She's she's all fucked up right now.
She's still processing.
How does Jax react to it?
Seems like he's unfazed in the sense that very much the idea that like he's seen people do bad things before or he's done bad things before, so there's not really much judgment there. It's startling for sure, but I mean, people killing has never like been this like
rattled him.
Yeah, it's never been this like brash thing. It's like, oh, okay, like sometimes you have to do this, or like you're doing what you have to do. Like
Team indoctrination over here.
And you go up and you sit next to Scully, and he says, "Quite a group of people you got with you here. It's not my usual fares, but you know, I don't ask questions."
I know. Can I like vent for a second?
You can vent to me.
Who is that? Who is that?
And you look over and you see the veiled one sitting next to you.
Whoa, wait.
Keep concentration, babes.
Oh, yeah. Is it really you?
Of course.
Oh, I missed you. It's been so shitty out here.
I thought it was Aramis at first.
Me too. I was like, what the hell?
I mean, what if he's got on a mask?
Well, maybe.
Well, the material plane has its drawbacks for sure, but you've endured plenty before.
Thanks.
My little trooper just kind of like nudges your shoulder.
I try. But honestly, I don't know why you want me to follow Ira. She's about to give up. Like, how am I supposed to help her out if she's on that edge of like, maybe I'm not gonna help myself anymore?
And you see her take this like kind of like spool and kind of like draw a thread from it. And it's still very much like kind of like this white glowing thread. She says, I wouldn't give up hope just yet. She may be on the edge, but oftentimes it's the push that sets us on the path that we need to go. I mean, look at yourself, for example. Bad things happen to good people. Sometimes those bad things, they lead to some good after all.
Yeah, you can't have light without a little bit of darkness.
Right.
Yeah.
I knew you'd understand.
Yeah. I'm a little nervous. I don't know why. Actually, it's probably because you're here. And she's just going to kind of like look to the side and then look back at...
She says, "No, easy now." And she kind of like caresses your face, like, "Don't lose sight." And he kind of like gestures to Scully, and like her touch feels like it's like almost like when you take like a hot mug of like and you kind of like rub it against your
Nice.
face, so it feels warm. And it's like almost like too warm, like it would hurt a little bit, but it's like it's very much like this like electrifying kind of like sensation.
It's mommy, so it's okay.
Mommy in a different sense than Nylea.
Right.
Yeah.
And don't be nervous. We've talked plenty of times.
I know, but then I don't have to see you react. So I can be mean. You know what I mean?
You don't have to see me. I can not.
No,
be there.
shut up. I'm sorry. She's going to stick her finger near Kayla, near the veiled one's face. She's
Yeah.
going to be like, shut up. No.
It's funny. You can't see her face anyway because she has a veil on.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, but like near
Kind
it.
of just like push into the veil.
Yeah.
A bit, like, yeah.
How can you visit me here?
I mean, this is the world between worlds.
What does that even mean?
The River Ombrith is an interesting place. To you see this primitive visage, but to us beings of higher essence, the river is something entirely different. It's a living vein of luminous power, twisting through an endless black expanse like the serpent of light. And these illusions that more fragile minds would see. It stands out a bit when there are other planers traveling on it. And trust me, there are more of us around than you think. And it's probably a good thing that we're watching. Because the ones that are also watching, and she kind of like is very much like looking off at this point, like away from you, off into the distance, like almost to her left. We won't stay as far away if we're not here. She kind of like looks back at you.
Well, if we had a bard, we could have them play some like bard beach rock, and that would kind of keep people away from the boat, maybe.
I don't know if that would help or not. It would probably attract more
Of the gross ones, you're right.
problematic.
The problematic kind.
I'm not one to judge. I see fate as it lies, not as I don't make those choices. Others make those for themselves.
They should write sonnets about you.
Some do.
Really? Oh, maybe you'll have to lead me
It
to
is
them.
not as easy to discern as most people would think, but there are some.
Yeah. I mean, you are kind of a mystery, which is something I really like. I didn't know how little people knew about you.
People often don't like to believe that fate has its own way of things. They think that
Their
just,
plan
looks
is better.
around and the pantheon has anything to do with their decisions, but most of the time it's me, and it's been ever so lonely to do that. And she kind of like puts her hand onto your hand, but that can soon enough change, as long as you stay the path, stay the course.
I will. And I do not doubt you. I just get a little bit nervous. I get a little bit nervous because I just watched our tiefling murder a whole bunch of people. And then I didn't really see what our plant went through. But
Our house plant's been through a lot.
I love that the joke won't die.
It just keeps,
It just keeps
Damn.
going.
I love that it like migrated to another character.
I don't know what our plant went through, but everyone looked a little distraught. And I don't know, it's just things are crumbling. It's hard to be like the perfect ray of sunshine all the time, you know?
I do. They've seen a lot of death.
But death is cool. For me, I guess I should respect their opinions.
Many people don't see it as the way you do, and it's a little bit more jarring than you. So they handle it differently, handle it in their own ways. Others witness it and have it surround them, others cause it. But that is how fate decides.
I'm still on the right path, right?
And we'll find out right after our break.
Dude.
Oh, hey, didn't see you there. Oh, now that you're here, just wanted to say thank you so much for joining us on this journey so far with us here at Off the Beaten Quest. You're going to start noticing a lot of new things on our Twitch channel now that we are affiliate. You will see a lot of cool emotes designed by our very own Caroline, as well as a lot of other things that we do have in the works. Definitely hit that follow button, or maybe even subscribe so we can bring you a lot more. And do remember, if you are an Amazon Prime member, you can use your 1 month free sub. If you're watching on YouTube, consider liking, subscribing, and hitting the notification button so the YouTube algorithm gods will share this video with a lot of other people like you. Thank you so much again. My name is Justin Fussell. I am the Game Master for Off the Beaten Quest. Outside of being the Game Master, I do a lot of writing, world building, filmmaking. Me and my wife, we run Imagistorm Productions together. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun just incorporating a lot of the world building and writing that I do into this, building this campaign overall. It's been really interesting to kind of take the filmmaking background and kind of apply it to being a game master, because essentially a lot of like the players are the actors and you're setting scenes and you kind of just let them freeform in the space versus just any like preconceived dialogue. So it's a lot of fun just to kind of see, you put the situations in their hands and just kind of see what they come up with. I enjoy playing D&D with this group because they're like my found family. It's been, I love everybody that sits at this table. It's been a lot of fun to just be able to kind of build this world with them together. A lot of the way I incorporate this with a lot of the players and the story and stuff has been a lot of collaboration, seeing how their stories intertwine with what I have planned and vice versa. It's going to be a very interesting to see how the people receive everybody. Everybody's got its own different flair, and the way that this team is made up of very colorful characters, I think everybody's going to love them. They're going to find something to laugh with and have fun with, and it's going to be really good. In the campaign, I play a lot of the different NPCs, of course, but the main one that I play is Jax. He's a fighter monk druid And he came from a tribe of changelings that existed in the Fey realm and kind of had some backstories with different things and different interconnected characters. He's become a love interest and boyfriend of Hira's character. And if you want to know more about Jax's backstory and kind of how it's interconnected with the whole story, you can always check out the prologue. I chose to do a homebrew setting versus an existing campaign just because it was something where I could kind of really just expand and create a universe. I wanted to have something that I can build upon. I honestly like to be able to throw twists and stuff at the players. I think that's the biggest thing I think is really fun. There's a lot of ideas of what's going to happen, where things are going to go. Just as much as they can improv in a setting, I can do the same, and it kind of allows for a lot of really good back and forth. Definitely, if you've checked the prologue, there are some things that happen in episode 62 that is a little bit of an Easter egg that even the players haven't figured out yet, which has been really nice. But it's going to come back around eventually, and it's going to be a really big aha moment. But I think that's one of the biggest things to look out for. It'll be a very blink and you'll miss it kind of moment. But other than that, just being really on the lookout for a lot of just the backstory and the things that how this is going to be building up to as we get into the next arc of the campaign. So they can find us on any of the major podcasting platforms, as well as our social medias and Twitch and our YouTube.
My name is Allie Goodell, and I am part of the filmmaking team on this podcast. I record all of the video for the intro, for us playing, things like that. I went to college for film, and I'm actually very interested in getting to do more with that. So this is a really good experience for me to start experimenting with my film cameras and all the equipment that I have. I feel like at first, when I started with this project, there was a lot of push and pull because I, as a person, like to hover and be involved with everything. So trying to work as a team has been very much a learning experience and learning when to step back and put myself in. So it's been interesting figuring out the dynamic, but I'm having a really good time, and learning how to do this all for the first time, really putting together a podcast, has been fun and interesting. I really like playing D&D with this group because it's not just playing D&D. I feel like I'm part of a big family. Every time that we play, we have a dinner together and we kind of just hang out a little bit, and we have a little break session and we get little desserts, and it's just like, you know, hanging out with mom and dad and the siblings. Allie F and Justin F are kind of the mom and dad of the group, and I love them so much, and I have a great time with everyone. It just really feels like a family here. I feel like this campaign has very great homebrew essences. I feel like they would love Bountifolia especially. That's one of the most interesting islands we've been to so far. I feel like there's a lot of life to this campaign and the world building, and I think people are going to be very interested in what kinds of different places and NPCs that Justin creates for the campaign. You can find us at Off the Beaten Quest on all podcast platforms, as well as Twitch and YouTube, and you can also find us on our social medias.
Hi, I'm Allie Fussell. I am doing all of the marketing, project management, keeping everyone on track to get Off the Beaten Quest out into the world. For me, I got to work again with my amazing husband on this project. He is the world builder in this incredible world, so being able to work closely with him to bring his vision out to the world, in addition to being able to collaborate with our friends, it's been such a fun project for me, and also being able to flex all of my skills that I have from my day job in this as well, to push this project out has been a lot of fun. Honestly, one of the things that is the most fun about it is hosting everyone every week. We do play in our home, and one of my favorite things is being able to make dinner and also bake something from scratch for our players every week, and just having that time with them before and during our breaks, during sessions as well. And also, these people are friends. They are my closest friends. So being able to have this experience with them, not only just playing the game, but also being able to share it with the world, has been absolutely amazing. I think the audience is going to really enjoy the campaign. It has all of the classic elements of a D&D campaign with our own spin, with our diverse cast of characters. You can find us on all major podcast streaming platforms, in addition to YouTube and Twitch, and all social media, which is linked in the caption right down here.
Hi, my name is Caroline Daher, and I am the in-house artist for the podcast. Outside of being a player, I like long walks on the beach and chasing waterfalls, but in reality, I'm a student for psychobiology, which is just a big fancy word for saying I like how thoughts and emotions are combined with how our bodies work in our body's biology. It's been wonderful finding my place in the team just by doing their character art or proof checking some of the episodes before they release. And I'm really excited to kind of continue to grow with them and be where they need me to be, and for the extra opportunities to do even more artistic things. What I enjoy most about playing D&D with this group and just the whole dynamic in general is that Justin, our DM, puts so much thought and care into creating this adventure for us. I think he genuinely gets a kick out of keeping us on our toes, and I love seeing that, not only for myself as a player, but for everyone else that is a player in the campaign as well. Allie F is kind of like the anchor of the group. She is the one that makes us food and has little treats, and then she also kind of makes everyone feel comfortable coming into this space because they're hosting us in their home. And I know it's a little cliche to say it's like a family, but it really is like a family, and that's, I think, what makes it so special. As far as what the audience is going to think about the campaign, I feel that they're going to love it because it has the perfect balance of drama and humor and sadness, and it's just so balanced that there's nothing that anyone could dislike. You can find us here on all major podcasting platforms as well as YouTube and Twitch, and check out our socials linked below.
Hello, my name is Sarah Matlack. I'm kind of a flex role, and so I kind of jump from task to task, just wherever people need me, I'm there. It's been a lot of fun getting to work with everyone from various different backgrounds and personalities too. Getting to come together and create something magical, I feel like, is rare nowadays, especially with this much inspiration that just comes from each other, and we get to kind of almost feed off of each other and kind of help each other out in that way, which is a lot of fun. I love the bits and how they keep circling back with basically every session. There's a couple that Lukiel and Dawn do throughout the sessions, and the bits, just the absolute laughter that comes with this group is what keeps me coming back. I think they're gonna have an absolute blast. Again, going back to the bits and the total chaos that comes from this group, it honestly surprises me every time, which is hard to do. You can find us on all major podcasting platforms, including our Twitch, YouTube, and other social medias.
And we're back. All right. So, before break, you asked if you were on the right path. No, I'm just kidding.
Incorrect.
Wow.
The Veiled One responds and says, "Of course. Why would you not be?"
You're right. You're right. I don't have to do the what ifs. I should do the even ifs. If that even makes sense. To me, it does.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense to me. What's wrong?
Nothing's wrong. Caroline's nervous.
Why are you nervous?
I shouldn't be. I just don't know how to help everyone.
How do you want to help them?
Oh, man. I'm not sure. I know that I want to listen to whatever Ira is going through because she was literally stolen by people, and I watched her on the ground. I had to throw you, basically, the tarot cards on top of her just so that she could stabilize. She was going to die. And then I got hurt. I almost died. And all of us keep almost dying. Is that why you made me a Grave Cleric? Anyway. I don't know. I don't know how to help them.
Or do you want to help them?
Okay. You know what? You're a real pain in my ass sometimes.
That's my job.
I know.
You can answer my question anytime.
For real?
I guess.
Ugh.
And she like looks around. It's not like we're going anywhere.
No answer. I have no idea. What was your question?
How do you want to help them?
How do I want to help them? I want to be a friend.
Okay. So be a friend.
Ugh. It's a lot of work though.
Yeah. Well, all good things take work.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, fine. I can do that. I am already friends with Scully.
Yeah.
He wasn't hard. He doesn't have a choice.
Right. Well, as long as you remain focused.
I am. I'm remaining focused. Is there anything I should be scared of? Like, is there anything I should do for them here? Because they're a little freaked out. I can go in.
They're seeing what they're meant to see.
Oh, you're right. This is their fault. To themselves.
In a sense.
Yeah. I tried to help Eliana. I let her know. Like, down the line, she's already dead. Like, she doesn't have to worry about dying.
True.
Mm-hmm. I wish others could see their own fate lines. But then that wouldn't be... They would try to change it. Does fate even change? Not really, right?
Depends. Their actions dictate the way that their fate goes. They make a choice. There's a change in the path. But it continues to proceed ever forward.
Sable's gonna do a big sigh, and then she's gonna say, I guess I'll go check on them. But she's gonna squeeze Kayla's hand in case she leaves. Just like...
Okay. You do, and then as you kind of look to the rest of your party and you look back and she's gone.
So mysterious. It's kind of hot. She's gonna walk over. She said that to herself. She's gonna walk over and... Which one was huddled down, got thrown? That was Verity.
Yes.
She's gonna grab the blanket from her bag and put it over Verity while she's laying there.
Okay.
Hi. She says as you like place the blanket on her. Just a face plant in the...
You've been through enough.
Don't let me make it worse.
Literally.
What, do you want me to stay down here? Is that what you're saying?
You can do whatever you like.
Okay. She's gonna stay face first into the floor for a little bit longer than... And then she'll eventually get up and sit up.
Okay. What does everyone else do?
Eliana's just blocking out everything around her. She's just staying in her little cloak that she was given. Her big cloak that she was given. It's swallowing her.
You can't keep the cloak. It's just to tide you over. Ira's still gonna be in the front of the boat.
Okay.
But she's seated. And I think she's just she's playing, like, there's a lot going on, and it's like everything that's happened since we've been down here to her does not matter.
Okay.
There's not a single thing that's happened that she's, like, surprised by or thinking about. She's more focused on, like, where they're going, and is quite honestly just, like, at her wit's end. So I think she's gonna try to, like, well, she is replaying a bunch of memories from a long time ago, from way before she ever met any of these people, before she ever left for school, trying to find something to, like, latch onto, like, give her some kind of reason to just keep going, and not to tell Sable, you know what, fuck it, never mind, let's go to Mount Folia instead.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So as you replay those in your mind, you, much like everything else in this part of the plains, you essentially, your mind drifts off and you spend a moment thinking of your times as part of doing different missions with for your family, your time as an early adventurant. You remember the fire and your outings with Killian. And you hear a voice. What is it that we're seeing?
Who is the voice?
You turn to see who it is.
I would kind of hope she would just recognize the voice, but sure.
It's Nylea.
Oh. Cool. Is it what you just said?
Mm-hmm.
So she's looking, I'm assuming it'd be like looking down on the scene, unless it's from her perspective of this day.
In theory, essentially, it's you looking...
No, I'm trying to remember if it was a church or a school. Do you remember if it was church or school?
The part that you're witnessing, at least in this moment, is you being pulled away from a burning building.
It's okay. So, okay. This was the first time I lost.
And it was a school, for the record.
Yeah. And I guess to kind of like paint the picture clearer, I would assume you would probably see him. So you see this blue male, very distinguished. He's got a adventurant medallion around his neck.
So you're the only one singing this, by the way. The rest of the group is not.
Okay.
Okay.
Nylea asked me what we're seeing.
Oh, so you're describing it to her in that way?
Mm-hmm.
You're seeing it as if it's a movie, by the way. Like, I would figure...
The audience can't see the inside of my head either.
Right. So let me cook.
Let me cook.
I'm setting it up for you there, Chief. You can knock it out of the park once you hit it off. I guess Nylea is asking you what it is that... And you said the first time you lost. Right?
Yeah, and then can I...
Okay.
Thank you. There's... So, and then that, blue guy. And then there's a significantly younger version of Ira, still young adult, but doesn't have the miles on her that she has now. And there's a burning small town, like one room school that's been set on fire. And if you listen into it, you hear the screams of children. And you can see that younger era, like, trying to get to it, try to open the doors, break the windows, whatever. But you see the male that she's with ripping her away from it and telling her that they have to go. And she ultimately just allows herself to be, like, overpowered. And leaves.
Okay.
And I almost walked away at that moment and just went back home. But the stakes felt lower then.
Why is it that the stakes felt lower?
Well, how many people have died since I left home? How many people have, just by being in my vicinity, gotten injured? Physically, mentally ailed in some way? And then, the really cool part of me just assuming that my absolutely just lovely DNA sharing person just thought he was gone. Not dead, but gone. Just decides to show up. And doesn't even have the gall to show up in person to try to kill me. Doesn't even have that moniker of respect for the work he claims to be doing. So what are we even doing here? When I say we, I don't necessarily mean you. But what are we doing? What is there to save?
You tell me.
If I knew, I wouldn't be concerned.
I mean, you seem to have all the answers.
Do I?
You talk like you do.
Do I?
Case in point.
In what way?
The way you carry yourself. That's why everyone looks to you as the leader, do they not?
You can't show the cracks.
So then why are you showing it now?
Or I'm not showing it to them.
Are you so sure about that?
Well, let's just say there are a few of them that if they see the cracks, I'm glad they're finally paying attention to something beyond themselves.
And trying to remember, sure I used the phrase correctly. As you folks would say, pot meets kettle.
Are you pointing to yourself?
I'm talking about you.
Yeah, so you comparing my unwillingness to...
Oh, the weight of the problems of the great Eroton outweighs that of the rest of the folks in this boat. So much so that you have to carry the world on your shoulders.
I believe I shoved everything to the back burner to make sure that Thanatora was dealt with. I believed I shoved everything to the back burner to make sure that the Lich from the Feywild was taken care of. I believe I pushed everything to the back burner to make sure that Verity and her family were stable. I believe I pushed things to the back burner for countless other people, countless other times. And if I'm
Not
kidnapped,
without grit.
one
Can't
of
agree to do things for your companions, but still mentally go against the grain.
what do you mean?
You talk about it with such disdain that you had to suffer down your own problems to deal with everyone else like it was a chore.
From my perspective, it wasn't a chore. It was an honor.
And yet you speak of it as you are now.
You said to me that I carry it in a sense of a burden for what I'm dealing with now, and that it's the conclusion could be drawn that the assumption is
I
well,
merely
now
said
it's
that you
I stomped
carry
my
them.
foot and now it's my turn. It's like, no,
I merely
I've
said you carry the weight on
properly-
your shoulders. I never used the word burden.
I've properly prioritized the issues ahead of us. And now, yes, mine are the biggest problem in the room. Now we have the super fun thing with Erebus still. But I'm hoping that will resolve itself somehow. And Verity can be free of that eventually.
And yet you're the only one complaining.
What am I complaining about?
It's just your tone. Dear God. I'm a god myself, and yet you sound so self-righteous that you need to handle everybody else's things. You're my champion. I didn't think it was the other way around. I have to listen to you whine.
So why did you talk to me? Why did you ask questions? Why did you seek to understand for me to answer your questions, and now I am the ungrateful one?
This is crazy.
Dude,
Bickering with
these
a
days.
god. Yeah.
Maybe humble yourself. I sense the doubt within you. You wonder what it is and why you're even the champion in the first place.
what's the job description? I have a title, but it doesn't. What impact can I make?
You're already making an impact. The things that you do, the way that you handle the things in the realm. Is that not good enough for you of an answer?
I mean, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And anytime I do anything, it's met with a cold shoulder and even colder breeze.
Maybe look at your perspective and how you approach things and or your companions. You walk with someone who walks with that of fate. Yet you don't abide or care to acknowledge it. Maybe your fate is to deal with the things that you're dealing with, and that is what's going to make you the champion. Yet I have to clarify that to you at every turn. As if I'm supposed to just hand you a job description. You signed up for this. You communed with me. You could have just as easily turned away from the bow when I presented it to you if you were not ready.
And in her head, she's like... I'm not the god. Like, I guess it's in her head. Like, I'm not the god. I don't determine when I'm ready.
You have very much left to learn.
What was I supposed to do? Tell you no? And then have you what? Divine smite my ass? Like,
What free will was I taking from you? What choices were I forcing you to make?
I'm
I'm not
struggling.
so sure you understand who it is you're speaking with and how you approach the entire situation, let alone approaching your allies. You think you, like I asked you before, you act like you know all of the answers, yet you don't understand anything at all. Do you think any of the people in this boat know what they're doing? They're existing the way that they have to every turn. They make choices and they sit in it. What makes you above any of them? As if the choices need to be spelled out for you in a clear-cut answer as an outline on a piece of paper. You begrudgingly... I hear you, by the way, when you talk about how I choose not to help you in situations, as if I need to hand out my divine ability at any given taken corner.
If you're speaking in regard to, apologize for the language, the shithead on the boat that asked for me to ask you to help, I told him you wouldn't, because I have an understanding that you don't interfere.
As if that's the first time. You make it a very big point to talk about how us gods don't get involved and how Nylea stays away from all of this, as if you mock me in my standpoints. Yet you stand amongst someone whose sheer belief brought a god back from the brink of extinction.
I gotta go, guys. Fuck.
Oh, you mean the one that's scared of the dark?
At least she's not scared of the light. Fuck.
Sarah, me too.
I'm just gonna stay down here. I'm in between them.
The heart in my chest.
You should be here for when we actually argue.
You're a paladin. Act like one. This imposter syndrome looks terrible on you.
What is the color for imposter? Like green is for envy? What is the color for imposter?
Maybe, yeah. Envy's green, so it makes yeah, sure.
Oh, she's already wearing it?
Chartreuse, no.
Oh, it's hard. I guess it's difficult because, yes, the situation with Verity and that is different, and Flossidus and Eliana is different, and Sable and the Veiled One is different, but they understand where they stand. They understand the objective. They understand the purpose and the reason you're building a literal church.
Yeah, and she's really confused about it.
You understand the end goal.
And maybe instead of offering everyone else guidance, you get some of your own. Because they know how to acknowledge and, whether they like it or not, interact with their gods. Yet, you and I see at different ends, let alone be on the same page. You talk about my beliefs and the things that you uphold as far as doing right by animals and not hunting for sport and taking care of nature, and yet it's just surface value. Yet you carry yourself with so much doubt and weight. that you can't even accept the good that you're actually doing. The people and the things that, whether there is death around you, the people you are saving in the process. The bigger picture.
It's hard to see that bigger picture when I am fully aware and using this trip to come to peace with what will likely be the end for me.
Yet all of you on this vessel have not looked the end in the face and did everything that you possibly could to let that not be the outcome.
Well, we just lost one. So it's hard for me not to... I will be overpowered. That is what will happen.
Loss is a funny thing. In the grand scheme of things and in the domain to which I uphold, loss is a part of the circle of life. But to lose oftentimes leads to something to gain. And to be quite honest, you knew much little about your friend, for he is not gone. I have it on good authority that, as we speak, his essence is reincarnated into something different or someone. I don't even know if him leaving is even possible. At least leaving this plane of existence anyway. But that doesn't change my point. Do what you have to do. Because in your heart, whether you win or lose, all you can do is keep going. Because if you don't, there's no way to change that outcome. Either you sit in loss, or you fight to win a different day. I didn't choose to interact with you because I felt bored in my existence. You fight for me because you have a purpose. As all of you sitting on this boat, uphold it. Because if you lose any one of these people, and you just pack it in and say that you're done, what did any of them die for? What will any of them die for? They chose to get on this boat to come with you to save your home. They didn't have to. Just as much as you chose to help all of them, because you didn't have to. Free will is the essence of choice. The motivations only help make the decision.
Have you seen what's happening in Port of Mar?
I have. All the more reason you need to be ready. Because if you're going to save your people and fight for the ones that you love, you're going to need to get your shit together. Kid stuff's over.
Ear's gonna turn back to the school.
Mm-hmm.
I guess just sit.
You watch as this, like, moment in time seems to be kind of frozen, kind of amidst everything. And
I think part of what she's doing here too is she's listening as like a exposure therapy to desensitize herself before they get to where they're going. So in case it is like an open war zone, it won't be as jarring.
And Nylea walks you to, or at least walks over to the school herself. And you see her kind of like, as the school kind of like the boards and all this like fire and everything that kind of makes up this whole moment, as it blows open to kind of reveal what was inside. And it's empty. And you see that the screams you were hearing were just but a mere incantation, an illusion. And that the reason that the school was being like the door was magically bound shut and this is something that Killian never told you, is it was part of an adventurant test. And you see that you see this kind of revelation, and you look as if kind of looking towards where you saw Killian kind of pulling you away from in this moment, as in like looking into like a resentment or anger kind of thing, and you see that there's remorse or regret in his face. Understanding that you can see on his face that he put you through something that he didn't think was right. And Nylea turns to you and says, sometimes we have to do the things we don't want to do. And I don't know what his motivations were to put you through that. But sometimes everything happens for a reason. You became stronger. You vowed to not let that happen to anyone else. Which is why he said to not mess with things that you don't yet understand. Bless you.
Shut up. I almost yelled cucumber. All that did was make me more cold, which is the direct reason to the situation I'm currently in the conversation that we've just now had. That on top of everything else.
I think you'll be all right. But again, move forward. You said it yourself plenty of times that you didn't want to be an adventurant. So don't be.
Pause. When did she say that?
You said it very early in the campaign.
She left home to be this.
Yeah, around when the whole thing with Cell and Cindy and stuff at the college, you talked about that being like a full-fledged adventurant wasn't that wasn't your path. That wasn't what you wanted to do.
I 100% believe you. I have zero memory of that. Me.
I vaguely remember.
I 100% believe that happened, but I don't.
Me with my memory problems.
What was the character motivation there? No idea. Play.
A lot's happened since then.
Had to do with your father and stuff, I think, about their expectations and
Yeah, I'm fine. Oh, thanks. Good, though. Thanks.
Just in case.
That sneeze really did you in.
That hurts
got an
so
issue,
bad.
get a tissue.
Well. It's frozen over so hard. It's only about to get worse. So,
And why is that?
just on this bone boat, piloted by actually a really cool skeleton guy. He's actually really neat. But to my home, that I understand, is probably on fire. And I haven't been on a proper, mission in this sense since before I left for school. And while I have complete faith in Jax being able to handle himself, I don't know that Eliana's going to be able to do anything without harming innocents, because all of her stuff is just... Sable's new, and Verity, I wanted her to take all the souls of the bad guys she's going to kill and give them to Erebus, but now I don't think I want Erebus to have those. Because he's kind of a jerk. I would call him a dick, but you're here, so... Yeah. Yeah. So, my family built Port of Mar to get away from this. For it to just land on their doorstep. By their own.
Well, as I understand, your people met their demise because of their own. So, if anything, this comes full circle.
In her head, she's like, yes. Make it worse. Yes.
She's like, I can hear your thoughts.
It's fine.
But your grandmother saw it fit to stand up for what was right. Despite the circumstances, she carried on.
And I'm on a boat.
I guess it's now sink or swim.
You probably have the answer. You're probably not going to give it to me, and that is okay. Do you have a cheat code for how to kill my brother?
No.
Okay. It's like, look, all I have to do is, it doesn't hurt to ask the question.
It's not going to be easy. And the things that he's intertwined with at this point are going to give you great issues.
In her head, she's like, so should I figure out what those are and take those out first? Make him more vulnerable and then go for him?
It's not possible.
That was in her head, but okay.
If you've got, I was gonna say she's in your head now. So
She's just in my head.
anything in your head essentially is just like thinking out loud.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate your time. I know you're probably still very busy from the fallout of everything that happened.
It's working itself out. Keep your chin up. You're gonna miss what's coming if you're looking at the floor.
And when the floor falls out from under me,
You have people there to catch you.
you're not helping.
Yeah, huh?
What you don't know is the veiled one is standing behind Nylia. And she's like, girl, we got a reservation for dinner. We gotta go.
Come on,
It's not
bestie.
canon. So you essentially kind of come to back in this space in the boat. How do you proceed?
She's just in the boat. She's still thinking.
Mm-hmm. This is up to everyone else. I mean, you're along for the ride.
I feel like, I don't know how long it's been, but I feel like after like some time has passed, like a little bit, Eliana like thinks about what she saw like in the waters, like the souls floating by and the noises. And mentally she reaches out and asks, "Are you guiding these souls? Or are they trapped?"
Am I just gonna do everybody this round? Okay. we're gonna have everybody hit. Everybody's gonna have these
You
moments.
asked us what we wanted to do.
No, I'm just buckling up. And you, for a moment, you just hear the sounds of the river and the kind of every like the sloshes every once in a while of like Scully like kind of pushing the boat. And you hear, "Of course, where do you think you are?"
Just feels so unnatural. But I guess I've just never experienced it before, so maybe there's... I don't know how this all works. It's scary.
And as if like a vision, you see this kind of like almost like popping kind of almost out of thin air. Like you see Floss just kind of come up and like grab like this underneath like your chin. And all of a sudden, you are seeing yourself on this like massive, like energy kind of like vein in the midst of this like black kind of star dotted expanse. And you lose sight of all of your companions, but you can feel that they're still there. You see these kind of like small, like aura kind of like speckles kind of around you. And you see Flossidus beside you. And she says, "Look around. They're on the path they're meant to be on."
Felt like they were going to take me with them for a bit.
Well, all lost souls seek guidance.
Yeah. I guess I'm just... my family is a family of druids, but I guess I'm just not used to the whole magical side of passing through. I know life is about the balance of life and death. Just didn't know this is how they transported. The mists also scared me a bit.
They'll do that. The weight of memories and others carry themselves in there. But this is one way in which souls are transported. There are others.
Oh,
This isn't the only way.
okay.
It's typically sometimes the fastest route, but
What is this place called?
this is the world between worlds. It often doesn't have a name. It's not meant to. To define it or name it gives it tangibility. And that of itself something that it needs to stay that way.
Okay. I'm just really hoping I'm out of here in a bit. I know this is kind of your whole thing now.
Why does this place scare you so much?
Brings back bad memories.
Yes. But is that all you have?
No.
Bad memories have to go somewhere.
This is true.
But does that mean they're worth being afraid of them?
No. Eliana's like just like a little lost puppy right now, like Man, I think it's okay to be scared of things sometimes.
Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, through the scary things that you've endured, it's made you who you are.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's worth thinking back and understanding that oftentimes if we didn't have something to fear, we wouldn't have things to be excited about.
Yeah. I'm just used to fear being like the body's natural response to be like, hey, stop. Like, you probably shouldn't be doing that thing. But that seems to be the opposite of what we've been going through a lot. Well, it's still dangerous, but, trying to help people. Did my dad go through here? Or was he on one of the other routes?
See for yourself.
Last time I looked in the water, Okay.
And you don't see it below.
Mm-hmm.
You look up and you see a Summer Eladrin. And he says, Eliana? Is that you?
You look different.
So do you. And he looks over at Flossus and he's like,
Fuck.
I never thought I'd see you again. Well, and he kind of, you get the sense that his awareness of the space he's in is a little jarring.
Mm-hmm.
And you see that kind of Flossus puts a hand on his shoulder, kind of calm him down. And you see that the souls that go through this area, they have a place to rest. Why? And he just comes up and he hugs you. Essentially kind of for a moment before the kind of the current that you're on kind of pulls you forward. Is it he stays with you, but it kind of breaks that tangibility just for a second.
Lillian misses you still. A lot.
I know. I try and watch over you as much as I can. I'm so sorry for everything that you've had to endure.
It's not your fault.
I know, but sometimes I often think that maybe if I had been there, I could do more. I could have done something. But
You had to rest. You were so tired.
I think it's time that you need to rest. Understand that the things that you run from in the dark, the light that you carry around you, outshines any of that. You don't need to be afraid.
I'm trying to be brave. It's really hard sometimes. I don't know how my friend Ira does it.
Just think about how far you've come. I'm so proud of you. With everything that you've done, I thank the gods that your mothers were able to do what they can and just help shape you into the person that you are, that I
know.
You're destined to do so much. I always knew that. That's why you shouldn't be afraid of the hardships that you faced or will face. I'll always watch over you and try to be there for you any way, shape that I can.
I have you and a god on my side now, so I think we're gonna be doing pretty good.
I see where you're going from up here.
Yeah.
I need you to understand that this... You say you try to be brave, but you've been so brave up to this point that you don't even know it. You're going to need to be. It's not going to be easy where you're going.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you so much for everything that you're doing. For not only our family, but for everyone here. And he kind of like gestures. And as you look kind of where he's gesturing, you see in this entire expanse, every dot, star, kind of like, almost like celestial kind of like loom. People. Just a seas and seas of people. Spirits, souls, all these things like taking tangible shapes of different people that are all looking upon you.
Oh, God. That's a lot of pressure.
It's as if you're standing amidst like this like massive, like kind of almost like stadium sense of like people.
Eliana is yet again under pressure, and she's like, the whole conversation with Ira is like, whoop, oh no.
Oh no.
And you see
I knew they were people.
your dad kind of it's again, this is probably gonna be a little cliche. He kind of like claps his hands together, essentially like starting like a slow clap, and this entire like expanse of everybody in the stars is just like clapping. Essentially,
Little introvert Eliana just full-blown panic attack.
there's like thunderous like applause as Floss just kind of steps beside you, and this like the crown of like stars that you had before is like appearing on you, and she essentially kind of puts this like cloak over your shoulders. It's kind of like this like blanket of like a nebula type stars, and says, "To the future. One day, this will be the light that guides you through. Your circle of stars. And the future god of the cosmos."
So is she Hades or Persephone? Or both?
And you see as everything kind of like starts to kind of like fade into its own, like as the applause kind of slowly starts to like fade as they all kind of revert back to the stars. And it's like your father and Flossus is left, and he says, "You are always my shining star. Now it's for real." And he gives you another hug as,
I love you, Dad.
"I love you too. Never give up." And he kind of kisses you on the forehead as he kind of like steps back, as he kind of goes translucent, as he kind of like goes back to like the star. And Blossom says, she kind of guides you back to the, or kind of like you're still on that track, but it's been kind of like been pulling you away and backwards. Kind of like sets you back onto the lights, like river, and says, it's okay to be afraid of the dark. But that's what makes the light all the more real and liberating.
Thank you.
You are that light. And his death is scary. You've seen enough of it to know. There's always someone there that's gonna make it right. And make it all those people. Somebody's forcing their hand, forcing their soul to take the journey that wasn't meant to be taken. It'll be for a reason. It won't be for nothing. And don't worry. I'm not putting all this weight on you to make it so that you have to figure it out.
Oh, thank God.
I'm probably going to be around for a long time.
Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of been struggling about some kind of, figuring out when to guide and when to not. I don't want to seem super self-important.
Those who need guidance, seek it out.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not needed, it's okay to be ready when they are.
Okay.
And you have a lot of light to shine on the material before I could ever call on you to mine.
Okay.
And to me, that's the priority.
Well, you know, that makes me want to live long so you can live long too. Because if I'm supposed to take on your role, I want that to be a long time away. Because you are incredible. And I couldn't have done any of this without you.
I'm going to need you to put your money where your mouth is on that.
Okay, I don't have a lot of money right now, but I will try my best.
She kind of like smirks. I need you to keep fighting.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not going down. After Thanatura, there's a lot more work that needs to be done.
This is true. So do the work.
Okay.
Can't do the work if you hide in the shadows.
Yeah.
And from the sounds of it, you're going to need a lot of light. And trust the fated one.
Shut up.
And she kind of like...
They were all roommates in college.
I was like,
And
I
they
ship
were
it.
roommates.
I ship it so hard.
It's not oftentimes that... Well, I should say, much like your belief in me,
Mm-hmm.
Some belief has always been there. In others, it just needs a simple spark.
Okay.
And she kind of like puts her forehead to your forehead, and as you kind of like back into the river with the rest of your companions on the boat.
I unfurl the cloak and I just kind of stare out at the water.
Okay.
Sable's gonna go into the middle of the boat. Can she see everyone from the middle of the boat?
Mm-hmm.
How much time has passed? Has it been an hour?
Yeah.
Are we fucked?
Hard to say where you are.
The time does work. Time does work differently.
Mm.
Do you guys want to play a game or something? I have two really fun ones.
Sure.
It may help. Do you guys want to do like an icebreaker one where we get to know each other? Or do you guys want to do like, oh, there's this one that I played with my dad and it's kind of like Rich Life. So it's like the perfect outcomes of everything. So you just talk about what you want in life and it's fun.
Can we do the first one?
The first one? Okay. 2 truths and a lie.
Okay. Well, we can't lie right now.
3 truths.
So
we will figure out their lies. But there's one rule, and that is that the truths and stuff have to help us get to know each other. Or help us feel a little better. Like maybe make us laugh, because it's pretty dark in here.
Hey, guys, you want to know what feels kind of good here? If it will make you less scared, because I was very scared. Velocitus is helping guide all these souls, so like this is where they're supposed to be. So this is a part of the whole cycle. It's not as spooky if you think about it that way.
Okay. That's a truth. That's her truth.
Yeah.
What? What?
Verity, it's your turn.
My turn. All right. How does this work?
So you give me 2 truths and 1 lie.
Okay. My mind is really blank right now. Give me one moment. I'm going to do this horribly on purpose. My eyes are blue.
Sigh.
I'm 5'4". And I have a sister.
You know what? If you just want to like make the game not fun on purpose, I get it.
I'm feel very pressured. Can someone else go
I just don't think
first?
she's ever played it before. She sounds unsure. The second one was a lie.
The 5'4"? How tall are you? You don't have a sister.
Yeah, she does. She does have a
Sable
sister.
doesn't know
Yeah,
that.
Sable doesn't know.
Yeah, that was Eliana.
I think Verity is 5'6".
Oh, so you're like grasping at straws.
Yeah.
Yeah, she has a sister.
Well, I guess I learned one thing about you. So you didn't break the rules.
Jax, it's your turn.
Yeah, Jax, you'll get it.
I've killed an entire ship's worth of people.
Okay.
I know nothing about being a druid. And I have over 150 different forms that I can change into.
Why did my mind go?
Man.
I have 150 hours in COD.
Because Jax would absolutely be a COD guy. And he would have a ghost cosplay.
No, that's not canon.
Sable is gonna say number 3 is the lie.
No.
Oh, that's a lot.
What was the second one?
He doesn't know about being a druid.
That one's.
But he's from a. But he was in his.
Just because you're part of it doesn't mean you understand it.
I guess.
And have you ever really seen him kill anyone?
Yes.
Yeah, a lot
It's
actually.
fucking brutal.
Didn't y'all say you were on a ship that blew up?
He didn't kill everyone, though. That was the Lich.
So that's the lie.
No.
I knew it was the druid one.
Yep.
Wow.
Wow.
We're great at this game.
It's fun.
You know,
we
Jax,
learn new
I did
things.
offer to teach you some stuff about druidic magics, you know. If you want to learn.
Okay.
Wait, what happened on this ship? When was this?
It's a long time ago.
Okay.
AKA, he don't want to talk about it.
I was like, would you like to share? This is the game of getting to know each other.
That's true.
Did you see what?
We learned she's got a sister.
No, Verity.
I mean, I can try and go again.
No, look. At least I saw, all of the people that you had to. I know it looks bad, but you were instructed to do so for the most part. And, when you're told to do something for so long, it becomes kind of innate. So, I mean, I can tell you're trying to restrain yourself when it comes to killing people. I know you have to do it to feed your guy, but I can see you're trying to be at least more selective, and I know you don't feel great about it. So,
How do you not give him the souls? Just use other weapons?
Can I make a history check?
Mm-hmm.
I want to make sure I'm adding the right one. 14.
Not gonna lie, I'm drawing a blank on the question because I was looking up like stuff in your guys' backstory. Ask me again.
What a mood when I'm prepping my spells.
What is it that you're trying to discern?
I asked if there was a way for Verity to kill without, like, the souls being used or, like, given to Erebus.
Oh no, that's easy.
Yeah, no.
Well, fuck. That's fine then.
Especially now that they're out.
Are these bench seats on the
Yeah.
boat?
Sure.
I would say if you want to, you guys can all Google what like a skiff looks like, and it gives you the idea.
Well, no, I was asking that because, like, I don't think...
Like a large skiff.
I think when Sable was like, hey, let's play the game, Ira was, faced in front of the boat. She only turned, like, to the side. And she's intentionally not, like, fully engaged because she was crying. But she's, I would think, probably cleaned herself up. And it's kind of dim, so.
Yeah.
I have dark vision. Shut up.
I have a dark vision. Nah.
Oh, you're human. You don't have dark vision.
I can see your gray tears.
No, but I was gonna roll for it.
I can see your tears in grayscale.
Grayscale.
Yeah, and I haven't done my 2 truths and a lie, but I don't have to. That's fine. She's gonna sit there quietly and hope everyone forgets about her.
It's not gonna. Well, first of all,
So, I mean, we learned that about Verity. So, Jax, are you going to tell us about the 150 people?
The forms that I can change into.
No, what did I say? The ship of people.
The ship of
Sorry,
people.
my brain just short-circuited.
Yes, name all 100.
let me go grab my monster manual and just. No. It was a job in Scavengeport, and it's not worth going into.
Okay.
That was the pirate place.
Yeah.
Got it.
Where we actually got Roman from in the caves.
That's why you were a little off. Makes sense.
That's why I knew Captain Mordecai.
Okay.
It's not easy to find a whole new crew for your ship. But he managed to do something somehow.
Hey, Ira. What are your 2 truths and a lie?
Why are you so far away?
It's not a very big boat.
But you're away from us, right?
A little,
You
yeah.
got like the helm.
I guess I imagine only having like 3 or 4 rows. So her being in the front row is not that far away.
Okay, it's far for Sable.
Yeah, I mean, this is nice. So I can just kind of like lean back. It's good. Yeah, I mean, it's something where it's like she's a few feet away. Especially if you're going more towards like the front of the boat. Yeah.
I mean, she's facing off the side.
Yeah. Even still, your back's to them, and they're like,
No, it's like my side would be to them.
oh, yeah.
I'm facing sideways.
So then, and this is Jackson, just tell us your truth, truth, and a lie. Stop dicking around.
Can't lie. I've been sitting here the whole time, struggling to come up with them.
You want me to go again, Ira?
No. I'm gonna make this fun.
Okay.
Who's ready?
I'm ready.
Are you?
No.
Okay. Me either. I have an affinity for bloodgrass.
Ira, I know that's the lie because I know what bloodgrass is. I'm from the Feywild. No one would ever have an affinity for bloodgrass.
Okay. Because she thought she really did good with that one. I used to look up to my brother like he was my hero. My mentor caused unreasonable and exceedingly painful trauma. And See, I can't say that because then they would all be true.
Ira. You just spoiled it.
Oh, yeah.
And then we thought Verity was bad at playing the game.
I can't think of any lies.
She's too good.
See, I thought we were supposed to say, like, physical stuff. I didn't realize we were getting
It
that.
can be
That's why we have to
anything.
learn about each other.
Oh, okay. Well.
Wait, those other 2 were true? Okay.
Oh, man.
I'm sorry.
And
but
she cuts a little.
sorry about your mentor. Are you okay? Are you and your mentor cool or like?
I
is he
found
gone?
out about. I don't know how long it's been. 30 seconds ago.
You've been on a boat. Well,
Yeah.
you had. Okay. See, I had mine under the cloak though, so no one could really,
Did anyone? Does anyone else put together that non-verbal exchange?
Sable does because she also had one.
So, no. What?
Did you get a note from your god? I got a note in my locker from my god.
Okay, I'll try again then, I guess. My favorite of Jax's form, second to his base form, is the... What's the cat race? What's the cat
Tabaxi.
The Tabaxi. I don't magically make the muffins. I just bake. I just buy them from bakeries and patisseries as we pass through town. And I like killing people when necessary to remove them as obstacles.
The first one is the lie.
You don't bake the muffins?
Thank you for giving me exactly what I wanted. How would I bake the muffins, Verity?
I thought they were magic.
With love.
And coin.
Actually, I played that.
Isn't love magic?
Wait, what was the game?
2 truths and a lie.
Oh, those were all lies.
No, wait. Wait. Say the muffin one again. You said,
Well, they're all lies.
yeah, but you said that you were like, the muffins aren't magical is what you said, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I believe that one. That one.
Well, no, I don't make them. Is that I buy them as we pass through town.
You
How
don't do
you
that.
Make them.
You don't do that.
Would give away the secret then, wouldn't it?
With a lot of love and prestidigitation.
That only warms them up. They only make you feel better because they're warm, and you typically only get them after you haven't had a warm meal for
Why are
several
you-
days.
Where are you getting the muffins then? I thought your prestidigitation did it.
That's what I thought.
I can't make food. I can only like warm it up or cool it off or make you clean if you're dirty or make cat toys.
The box.
Natural 20 insight check. On the muffins.
Do I do whispers just to Jax?
I mean, you can come and whisper it to mine.
Oh!
Technically, you don't have to say like where it's coming from. It's not like you can read your mind, but
Fun fact is that she's never told me this in real life either.
Oh!
Oh my god.
I was like, I'm going to roll insight and I'm going to see how this goes. And if it doesn't do well, I'm just going to ignore it. But yeah, it's natural.
But yeah, so.
This game is a bit confusing because you have to think of the 2 and then the 1, but then you have to guess and then... This is cool, though.
Hey, Scully.
Yeah.
How much longer do we have? Do you know?
Nope.
Okay.
Hey, Jax, can you turn
Can I
into your
just-
tabaxi form?
Can I just say that I appreciate you and you're doing great.
Thanks.
Do you like blueberry muffins?
No, they stick to my ribs. I can't do it.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know if you can consume them.
Well, like,
It's like oatmeals. They get like stuck there. You know?
Oh, okay.
Can I try again?
Of course.
I wrote them down. Before my mother got sick, I wanted to be a cleric.
Oh.
My father taught me lockpicking. And I'm the one who asked Tamara out.
The second one's a lie.
The first one's a lie. Tieflings aren't clerics.
What?
You're too
Blue?
you're too
What?
cool for that. Clerics are
Excuse me.
nerds.
I was like, Ira,
I'm
you're being
too cool to be a
racist.
cleric?
Look at you.
Sable is cool.
You know what, Ira? Fuck you.
Did you just generalize tieflings?
No, they're too cool.
They're actually very hot.
No, you know what I mean.
Like literally?
Literally and physically.
Except for today, your hand was really cold.
Is it still cold?
Yes.
It is still cold. Yeah, what's up with that?
I thought we were playing the game still.
Is your soul still in there?
Whoa. I don't know if she could answer that. How do you know?
I don't know. So, can you like smell it?
What
or
are you
something?
doing over there? DM? He's flipping
I don't like that.
a coin.
I don't like that.
Carry on.
Which one is the lie?
Hero's right.
Oh, I thought it's because your dad wasn't around, so he couldn't have taught you.
No, he taught me before everything.
Okay.
My Nadine's the one who wanted to be a cleric.
That tracks.
Little
What,
Goody
Jack?
two shoes.
You're cool as shit. Don't let anybody say otherwise.
Thanks, Jax.
Nerds can be cool,
Yeah.
but she's still a nerd.
So are you.
How am I a nerd?
Takes one to know one.
Clearly.
Nerds aren't bad.
I didn't say I wasn't one.
Did you said it in a derogatory term?
Nerds
Tone.
are just smart. So, like, you know a lot about tarot cards.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then I'm sorry for saying fuck you.
And I know a lot about killing things.
You know, I need to learn more about that sometime.
I would give you a crash course, but you have to make sure that Scully here doesn't kill us.
While we're here,
Uh-oh.
can we make like some rules for our party to avoid future conflict? Like no killing children unless absolutely necessary. No harming animals unless absolutely necessary. Can we like make like a checklist maybe?
Listen, if we're going off base logic, he wasn't technically a horse.
Yeah.
Technically,
It's
he was
true.
part of the Eyes of Dendia. I'm
This
just going to
is-
say that.
What? No, he was turned into a horse by the eyes of Dendia.
But
Which
he was
he was
working for
there,
them.
right? You got to be with the Eyes of Dendia to get turned into the horse. They don't just like do it randomly.
Not unless
We
they
weren't
were
there
taken.
for the eyes of Dendia. We just got ambushed by the eyes of Dendia, and they tried.
Yeah,
to
but I mean,
stab
if somebody gets turned into,
That was still a
there-
bad choice.
it takes a calculated thing. Like,
Eh.
you just like,
I can turn people into animals.
You
I just
can?
haven't done it ever.
okay.
I can animate corpses, but I avoid it for you.
What?
Can you turn me into a pigeon?
So you can shit on everything?
Wait, that's because you. That's why you. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to see it.
I don't want to see that.
I know, that's why I don't do it.
Wait, what do you think he is? And he like points to Scully.
Yeah, he scared me at first.
But he's pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
He's okay.
See?
Growth.
Think about a horse. That would have been cool.
I don't think she can do that though. She couldn't.
Maybe
so-
one day.
Maybe not yet.
Ira, what's going on?
Anything's possible.
Ira is now not present. Like, she's physically present, but her brain's, like, her head's
Sorry,
somewhere else.
we'll stop horsing around.
Ira's been like kind of out of it a lot.
Yeah, how was
Should we go
your
check on her?
conversation with your god?
She doesn't hear you at first.
Hey. Hey.
She says it louder.
Hey, Ira.
Yeah?
Hey, how was your conversation with your god?
Peachy.
Like the fruit? Or like in a bad? Oh, you're being sarcastic.
Why are you lying?
What did you roll?
I rolled a 22.
Nice.
Natural 20 plus 1.
Damn.
I don't think you can guide on a contested check for that.
I mean, it's a
but
nat
it's
20.
Still a nat 20.
Still
yeah.
a nat 20. Yeah. What was the question?
Oh,
Yes, while you were lying.
which negates because you rolled.
Yeah. He said I was lying.
You just sounded.
Peachy is a
Well,
matter of perspective.
You just sounded a little sarcastic about it.
You're on the right path.
Did I ask?
Well, you said things were going peachy, so I thought you would want to know that the peachiness is good because you're doing good things.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk into my hometown being absolutely slaughtered. Can't wait.
But you're going to help.
Well,
Okay.
We're about to be on the same page.
Yay.
Yeah, it's.
You know what would be more of a fun shared experience?
Yeah.
A favorite food.
Yeah.
Or like a favorite like play.
I haven't seen a play. Well, I've seen seen the plays that they put on in the Fae courts, but you're really not supposed to go to those because they can suck you in and you can get stuck there forever if you're like you know. So
you know how I've been hard on you in the past?
Yeah.
You know what my absolute actual favorite things about you is?
What?
How you just whoop. You just like that wasn't relevant, but I loved it.
Well, you were talking about plays. So
Okay.
I've been to like one or two in the Fae, and they kind of are like, they can get inside your brain and then get you stuck there for eternity. So my parents were like, hey, don't go
What?
to
What kind of
those.
plays do you see? They last like 2 hours. You sit there quiet. It's a dark room. People say lines and music is played, and then you go home.
That's not. I guess I don't know what a play is outside of the Fae. Wild.
What is a play to you?
There's a bunch of fairies that kind of like play little tricks. And like,
That's not a.
they-
When everything calms down before we go our separate.
DM's
I'll say,
like,
what
the
lore? What
fuck
lore is coming out of this?
I'm pulling out a D&D lore, so this
I'll
might.
say,
So when we're done,
Acors. What the fuck is that?
It's just basic D&D.
I know,
It's
yeah.
like- but it's like, it might not be in your world, but I'm like, hey, I'm ripping off the D&D
When-
lore.
everything's done. If this side of the world still exists,
Yeah.
we'll go to a play.
Okay. They're probably less dangerous here.
Much less. People get killed sometimes up in the balcony.
Mm.
Wow.
Was that a fucking Abraham Lincoln joke? The hell, man.
Oh my god!
Fucking A. God damn. All right. Well, that's where we're at today. Shit.
So good.
But you should be fine. We have security at our box.
As long as you're not wearing a big hat.
I'm sorry, guys.
There's a lot of, I think, you know, I've never seen it, but like I've heard some people get killed at the fake court plays. So I mean, it wouldn't be much different if it did happen. So yeah, I'd be down.
I have been waiting since 14 to use that joke.
Oh, yeah?
I was 14
All right.
years old.
Well, fucking life mission fulfilled.
Oh, my
Jeez.
stomach hurts.
Or score and fucking 16 years ago, apparently.
Well.
God damn. I guess we'll take a second to recenter.
There's, well, hopefully, you know, the sieging of your home goes better than mine did. Like, on our side. Not like that the sieging goes better. But, like, that, like, it gets, we can combat the sieging better.
Hey, I think we're getting close. It's time for me to wrap this up. God bless. I'm getting a little unhinged.
Oh
Us unhinged? Chaotic? No.
Yeah,
Unified chaos.
What are the ground rules
So what?
for unified chaos?
Oh, as far as us as a party,
Yeah.
don't kill children, and
Don't
kill animals. I feel like that's-
stupidly.
Do we have any others we'd like to introduce?
Don't steal my food.
maybe not kill each other.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Throw it out there.
Can you up? Well, not you. I get up.
I thought we
You-
got past this.
You, I'm not worried about. But now that Fuckstick is all just out there floating about,
I mean, what I said in Bevel still stands.
I don't think Erebus is considered part of our party, though. So, like, if he kills one of us, I mean, he's not breaking the rules.
Yeah,
no.
then it's okay. Then it's all right.
It's not okay, but, like, he's not in the party.
since when are you so just nonchalant about death?
You know, I had a conversation with my God on the boat. You know, death is inevitable.
Yes.
But there'll be
Yeah.
someone to guide you in the end.
How did you think you got out of this?
What?
How did you think you were going to get out of this? Like life in general.
Speaking of out of this, you better brace yourselves.
Okay.
As the boat kind of like comes to this like one kind of cross section, essentially just like kind of like goes upward, and the ferry kind of like lands outside of the essentially it lands outside of the harbor of Port of Mar, and the essentially as you come out of this into this water, there is just chaos everywhere. You see the harbor is essentially like all on fire. There's like airships kind of like flying over top of Port of Mar as like different like cannons are like firing down into different buildings, and there's like screams and explosions, and you see these like banners being flown down from these ships, and it is the symbol of the eyes of Dendia. And there are 3 airships kind of making their way kind of closer in the sky as the ferryman kind of like comes around to the side of the docks, and you guys all get off of the ferry. And that's where we're going to end for tonight.
Oh, my God.
Thank you so much for watching here at Off the Beaten Quest. And until next time, we will see you in the next episode.